Chapter 626. 3 billion seemed easy in Bao Tianxia's mouth, but in the eyes of 99% of the world's people, it was a huge sum of money that they would never be able to earn even if they lived for 8 lifetimes. Su Yan only showed a faint smile on his face. To be honest, he was not someone who had never seen money, nor was he someone who had never seen rich people. But in his eyes, this sum of money was still a huge sum of money, an unimaginably huge sum of money. It must be known that this was only Bao Tianxia's meeting gift. Big boss, you're really giving me the wrong impression. Has money depreciated to this extent? Su Yan said indifferently. How am I worthy of Big Boss's money? Since we've already opened up the window, I'll be frank too. With 3 billion, not to mention a bunch of super experts, I can even invite a Grandmaster Realm expert to help me with that amount of money. And to be more arrogant, I can even invite an Earth-profound Realm expert. Bao Tianxia said with a faint smile. But I'm a very careful person. If I really invite an Earth-profound Realm expert, do you think he'll be willing to just take 3 billion after seeing my business? He can kill me at any time and take over everything I have. Ha 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 ha. Bao Tianxia had only learned some skills from fighting zombies in ancient tombs when he was young. His strength was at most second or third rate. And this was Su Yan's overestimation of him. Such a guy, who could not be considered an expert in the underground world, was able to make a name for himself and command so many experts who were 100 times stronger than him. It must be said that his brain was terrifyingly powerful. Bao Tianxia could analyze a person's mind thoroughly, which was why he could control so many people. He was right. If he invited a Master Realm or Earth-profound Realm expert, they could kill him at any time and replace him. Not to mention those experts, even the leader of the Viper expedition team, Liu Bei, who was a super expert, had rebelled against him after seeing the treasure under the Xing and mountain range. She even killed Bao Tianxia's son, Bao Qinghua. Even if Bao Tianxia did not have such vigilance before, he would definitely be very vigilant now. Even Zhang Meng, who he trusted the most, would not have the same sense of trust as before. It was said that once bitten, twice shy. This saying was not wrong at all. After being bitten by Liu Bei, Bao Tianxia probably wouldn't trust anyone in the near future. Su Yan could roughly understand what Bao Tianxia was thinking. He said that he wanted to cooperate, but in reality, he was just using Bao Tianxia. How could a person who couldn't even trust his closest subordinates trust Su Yan? Bao Tianxia wanted to use the 3 billion to gain Su Yan's trust. Then, when Su Yan was blinded by money, he would use Su Yan to obtain 10 times or even 100 times the return in the Xing and mountain range. Naturally, after this matter was over, Bao Tianxia would use the simplest method to solve the problem, which was to kill Su Yan. This was the only way he wouldn't have to worry about Su Yan's threat. Big boss, if that's the case, you're confident that you can kill me when you don't need me. That's why you're willing to cooperate with me, right? Su Yan smiled. Don't be so obvious. You'll embarrass me. I didn't say that. Although Bao Tianxia's face was expressionless, his heart skipped a beat. He didn't know what to do when Su Yan exposed his thoughts so casually. For the first time in his life, Bao Tianxia didn't know how to face a young man like this. Su Yan put down the teacup in his hand. Then, thank you for your hospitality and appreciation. However, I really don't have that kind of ambition. It doesn't matter if Sky Entertainment Corporation earns 1 million or 10 billion a year. I still prefer to live a relaxed life. At least, I don't have to do something as immoral as digging up someone's ancestral grave. The corner of Bao Tianxia's mouth twitched. If his subordinates were here, they would know that the big boss wanted to kill someone. Reincarnation comes and goes. Big boss, those who are virtuous in this life will enjoy a happy life in their next life. Those who are wicked in this life might end up working like a cow or a horse in their next life. Su Yan still had a confident smile on his face. I'm not cursing you with my foul mouth. Not long ago you lost your child. Don't you think you've done too many wicked things? Padash. The big boss couldn't take it anymore. He slapped the table, shaking the teacup. After the slap, Su Yan was prepared to be besieged at any time. In his opinion, this should be a signal to attack him. However, to Su Yan's surprise, after Bao Tianxia slapped him, none of his subordinates rushed in to attack him. Big boss, it seems like you didn't arrange it well. Or are your subordinates? Suyin looked around and asked doubtfully. Bao Tianxia's anger seemed to have been vented with the slap. He smiled again. Brother Su, don't worry. I didn't invite you here to set up a trap. I sincerely want to be your friend and brother. Suyin clasped his hands. I'm flattered. But I still have to go. If Brother Su has something else to do, I'll send you off. Bao Tianxia's temper was so good that Suyin couldn't believe it. Big boss, if you're like this, then I really don't have a place in my heart. Suyin. If anyone wants to attack me, then let them come sooner. I'm also quite restless waiting like this. You have a lot of people, so you don't have to be afraid of me. Bao Tianxia raised his head and laughed. Brother Su, have you forgotten? Before you came, I promised you that you could leave safely. Maybe you think that I'm the kind of person who would change my mind, but I want to tell you that as long as I promise you something, I'll definitely fulfill it. Thank you for your honesty, Big Boss. Suyin stood up as he spoke. Big Boss, continue with your business. This tea is really good. If there's a chance, come and drink another cup. Ha ha ha, see you later. Bao Tianxia naturally stood up to send him off. Brother Su is with me. The only thing I have to do is to send you off. The two left the reception room one after the other. Bao Tianxia whispered a few words in Li Chun's ear and followed Suyin to send the guests off. Zhang Meng had been waiting outside, waiting for the big boss to press the notification bell in the reception room. He wanted them to wait outside and kill Suyin when he came out. But what he didn't expect was that Suyin actually walked out with the big boss while talking and laughing. Moreover, he looked radiant and didn't show any signs of breaking down. Zhang Meng, prepare a car to send my brother Suyin back. Bao Tianxia went out and arranged things for Zhang Meng. Zhang Meng's heart was in a mess. He arranged for the Rolls-Royce that had picked up Suyin. The big boss had repeatedly emphasized the highest specifications, so of course he had to listen. After arranging the car, he personally opened the door and respectfully sent Suyin to the car. At this moment, the assistant, Li Chunchong, rushed out with the tea leaves and cigarettes that the big boss had whispered to her to prepare. She handed them to Suyin and said, Mr. Su, this is a little something from the big boss. He saw that you had a high opinion of his white tea, so he asked me to prepare some for you to taste. Although these 2 cigarettes are in a pure white box without a logo or brand, they are special agents that can't be bought in the world. The big boss knows that you smoke, so he asked me to give them to you. Suyin didn't stand on ceremony and accepted them. Thank you, big boss. Brother Suyin. Bao Tianxia saw that Suyin was really going to leave, so he spoke again. I know that it's impossible for you to suddenly accept something, but I can give you time to think about it. I'm very patient with people I admire. Of course, I still hope that you can give me an answer as soon as possible. Now that Sky Entertainment Group is developing and growing, I'm afraid that it needs a lot of money. Brother Suyin, you must remember to come to me if you need anything. As soon as Bao Tianxia finished speaking, Li Chun handed Suyin a personal business card made of pure gold. Mr. Su, you must keep it well. Suyin smiled and didn't say anything. He stuffed the pure gold business card into his pocket. Big boss, I don't think I need to tell you how to contact me. I'm afraid you already know it. Haha, even if you don't know, you can still find me easily. I'm right, aren't I? Brother Su, you're too good at joking. I'm not as omnipotent as you think. Ha ha ha, I was fortunate enough to find you this time. The other reason was because of God's instructions. God allowed me to find you, so he's hinting that we can cooperate. Bao Tianxia said. Brother Suyin, you must think about it carefully. I'm looking forward to your reply. Suyin nodded. I will. Goodbye. Goodbye. With a gesture from Bao Tianxia, the chauffeur drove Suyin out of his private clubhouse, which was located in a place with good feng shui. Watching the car drive away, Li Chun said to Bao Tianxia, I'm sorry, big boss. I acted on my own initiative and gave him 2 cigarettes mixed with white powder. I just wanted to help you control him as soon as possible. I didn't mean anything else. Shaoli. Bao Tianxia's face was gloomy. I know you were thinking for me, but I'm warning you. Don't do anything I didn't order you to do. I'll forgive you this time. If you act on your own initiative again, think about what I'm raising in the lake in front of me. Li Chun looked at the lake and his face changed. Zhang Meng still didn't understand why the big boss sent Su Yin away. Big boss, since he didn't agree to submit to you, why didn't you tell us to take action? Did you really let him go just like that? Bao Tianxia's face didn't show any smile after Su Yin left. Have you heard of the saying, cast a long line to catch a big fish? But Zhang Meng didn't want Su Yin to submit. He wanted to kill Su Yin with his own hands. But he's a shark. Bao Tianxia continued. Since I want him to work for me, why don't I spend more effort on him? Xiao Meng, do you know the difference between you and him? Zhang Meng said confidently, Big boss, I don't think he's stronger than me. That's right. His strength is on par with yours. Bao Tianxia pointed to his head. But here, he's much stronger than you. Do you understand? In this society, you can't do well just because you can fight. Most of the time, this place is the deciding factor of victory and defeat. Chapter 627. Bao Tianxia was able to achieve what he had today mainly because he knew how to judge people. It could even be said that the only person he had misjudged in his life was the captain of Team 1, Liu Bei. He knew very well what kind of person Zhang Meng was. He was a talented general who could fight and risk his life for him. However, when it came to using his brain, he was much worse than Zhang Meng. Therefore, Bao Tianxia would never only have Zhang Meng by his side. He would mess up a lot of things. Bao Tianxia needed a woman like Li Chun. She was meticulous and always liked to use her brain to solve problems. Sometimes Li Chun would think that she was smart. For example, she took out 2 cigarettes mixed with white powder and gave them to Su Yin without Bao Tianxia's permission. Bao Tianxia wanted to get Su Yin because Su Yin was a talent with both brains and martial arts. Su Yin alone was more than enough to handle what Li Chun and Zhang Meng needed to do. Although Bao Tianxia had Li Chun and Zhang Meng by his side, 1 + 1 was still 2, not 1. After all, there were many things that could be done by 2 people, and 1 person would achieve different results. No matter how good the cooperation between 2 people was, it was still not as good as cooperation between 2 people. This was why Bao Tianxia wanted to have someone like Su Yin by his side. To a certain extent, what Su Yin could do was definitely not something that Li Chun and Zhang Meng could do together. Bao Tianxia didn't want to use the white powder to control Su Yin because he wouldn't be able to get a complete Su Yin if that happened. Druggists and normal people would always think differently. If Su Yin became a drug addict, Bao Tianxia would not need it anymore. Li Chun did something that she thought was smart, but Bao Tianxia still forgave her and did not punish her. It was because Bao Tianxia believed that with Su Yin's IQ, it was impossible for him to smoke those 2 cigarettes. Although Su Yin did smoke in Bao Tianxia's car, and more than 1 cigarette, it seemed that Su Yin was really addicted to smoking. However, Bao Tianxia was certain that Su Yin was not addicted to smoking. When Su Yin was talking to him in the reception room, he didn't light a single cigarette. If he was really a heavy smoker, his first reaction when Bao Tianxia asked him to think about things would be to light up a cigarette to calm his mind. But Su Yin didn't do that, which meant that he wasn't addicted to smoking. The reason why he did that in the car was to provoke Zhang Meng. Su Yin seemed to have found Zhang Meng's trait of being easily angered in a short period of time. Su Yin was testing the other party's bottom line so that if they really fought, he would be able to know himself and his enemy and win 100 battles. Of course, this was Bao Tianxia's deduction, and it was not the direct reason why he was so certain. The direct reason why Bao Tianxia was so certain was because of Su Yin's fingers. While Su Yin was drinking tea, Bao Tianxia had carefully observed Su Yin's fingers. His fingers were long and slender, and the color of the first joint of his index finger and middle finger was the same as the rest of his fingers. A heavy smoker's first joint of his index and middle fingers would be slightly yellower than the rest of his fingers. This was the color of his skin due to long-term use of cigarette smoke. Although the color was very faint, it was very clear to people like Bao Tianxia who paid attention to details. Since Su Yin wasn't addicted to smoking, and Su Yin wasn't a brainless person, Bao Tianxia was certain that Su Yin would never smoke those 2 cigarettes. He could rest assured that after he convinced Su Yin to cooperate with him, Su Yin would still be a normal person, and not a useless person who couldn't survive without heroin. Little Li, arrange for someone to keep an eye on Su Yun. I don't need to tell you what to do, Bao Tianxia said. Remember, you can't let him find out that I arranged for someone to keep an eye on him. It's not conducive to building a relationship of mutual trust between us. Li Chun nodded. Yes. Zhang Meng didn't understand. Big boss, you let him go so easily. Don't tell me you don't trust him? Since you don't trust him and he didn't agree to cooperate with us, why did you let him go? Even if he agreed to cooperate with me, do you think I would really trust him? Bao Tianxia looked at Zhang Meng helplessly. When I said to build a relationship of mutual trust, I didn't really mean to trust each other. I just want him to think that I trust him, and then let him really trust me. Little Meng, don't blame me for always saying that you have no brain. You really do have no brain. If you think more before you do anything in the future, I promise you will be more important than now. Really? Zhang Meng was excited. Big boss, I promise I will use more of my brain in the future. Bao Tianxia shook his head helplessly. When Zhang Meng said this, he didn't use his brain at all. If Zhang Meng used his brain a little, he would know that Bao Tianxia was just brushing him off. Bao Tianxia already thought highly of Zhang Meng, and Zhang Meng was destined to reach this height in his life. The reason was simple. It was because he still didn't understand what it meant to use his brain before he did anything. Li Chun obviously saw the big boss's helplessness. She turned around and left to do what the big boss had arranged for her. If she didn't hurry up and leave, Zhang Meng would probably ask her again what it meant to use his brain. How could a person who didn't even want to think about such a simple principle really use his brain when he did things? On the way back, Su Yun looked at the 2 packs of cigarettes in his hand with interest. They were pure white and had no print on them. He believed that they were special agents, but he didn't believe that there was no problem with the cigarettes. When Bao Tianxia's Rolls-Royce came to pick him up, he didn't smell any tobacco in the car. The ashtray in the car was brand new, and the roof of the car didn't have any traces of smoking. However, in Bao Tianxia's guest room, Su Yun could smell the faint smell of cigars. Based on this, Su Yun was completely sure that Bao Tianxia was a person who didn't touch cigarettes. Bao Tianxia would only light a cigar when he was thinking about something, and he would only smoke in an absolutely quiet environment. Many people might think that smoking cigars and smoking were the same, but that wasn't the case. Cigars and cigarettes were 2 completely different concepts. People who smoked enjoyed the temporary feeling of relaxation that came with the tobacco entering their lungs. Cigar smokers, on the other hand, enjoyed the feeling of being surrounded by cigar smoke. People who really smoked cigars didn't smoke. If a person smoked and smoked cigars, it only meant that they didn't really know how to enjoy cigars. People who really enjoyed cigars and knew that they could enjoy cigars wouldn't smoke for that temporary feeling of relaxation. It was on a completely different level. Since Bao Tianxia was a person who smoked cigars and didn't smoke, the people around him must have known about this. If they knew about this, why would they still give him cigarettes? They were obviously flattering him and asking to be kicked. If they were to give him something, they would definitely give him cigars. Even if the cigarettes were special offerings, Bao Tianxia definitely didn't like them. If someone were to give him cigarettes, he would just throw them to his smoking subordinates or throw them away. A person who didn't smoke had no reason to keep cigarettes. Therefore, Su Yun was sure that Bao Tianxia was using the cigarettes to bribe others. Even if they were special offerings, for someone who could offer Su Yun 3 billion yuan, it wasn't worth mentioning. However, when Li Chun gave the cigarettes to Su Yun noticed a trace of doubt in Bao Tianxia's eyes. Obviously, Bao Tianxia didn't order Li Chun to give the cigarettes to Su Yun. If there wasn't anything wrong with the cigarettes, why would Bao Tianxia's eyes flash with doubt? It was obvious that there was something wrong with the cigarettes. Su Yun smiled. If there was something wrong with the cigarettes that made Bao Tianxia's eyes change, it meant that Bao Tianxia wasn't ready to give him something with a problem. At the same time, it also meant that he could drink the tea without worry. Soon, the car sent Su Yun back to the construction site of the movie plaza. The driver said politely, "Mr. Su, we're here. If you don't need anything else, wait for me. I'll go in and take a look. If there's nothing else, you can send me somewhere else." Su Yun didn't treat himself as an outsider at all. Before he got out of the car, he remembered that the driver wasn't his, so he politely threw the cigarettes to the front passenger seat and said to the driver, "Brother, you've worked hard. Take these 2 cigarettes. Don't tell the boss that I gave them to you. Otherwise, he won't be happy." The driver was flattered and hurriedly said, "You're welcome, Mr. Su. You're too polite. I'm really sorry. How could I dare to accept something from the boss? Since the boss gave it to me, I naturally have the right to give it to others." Su-yin said, "I didn't want you to tell the boss because I didn't want to cause you trouble. You worked hard today, so you deserve it." In the end, the driver naturally accepted Su-yun's gift. After all, most drivers had the habit of smoking because nicotine did have a weak refreshing effect. There was a saying that went, "If you eat someone's food, your mouth will be short." Now that the driver had taken Su-yun's cigarettes, he naturally had to accept it. Su-yun told him to wait, so he waited obediently. Anyway, the driver was the only one who sent Su-yun back this time. No one would criticize him, and he didn't have to worry about Zhang Meng scolding him. It was easy to find an excuse for being late. He could just say that there was a traffic jam. What could he do about it? It wasn't like he wanted to be stuck in traffic. Su-yun hurried to the construction site of the Qingdao Film and Television Plaza. He found that not only was Zhuo Meiyan absent, but even Tang Jiu and the Zhang brothers weren't there. There were only a few construction managers and designers checking some of the information left by Tang Jiu. Since this was the case, Su-yun didn't need to stay there. He wasn't an architecture major, so there was no point in staying. Fortunately, Su-yun was smart enough to use the 2 problematic cigarettes as a private car. This saved him money and he didn't need to take a taxi anymore. Su-yun made a phone call to ask about Lin Ji's current location. Then he returned to the car and said to the driver, "Bro, I'll have to trouble you to send me to Ocean Park. I have something to do there. I just need you to take a detour." "Mr. Su, you don't have to be so polite." The driver now had a very good impression of Su-yun. "Mr. Su, to be honest, if you can really work with the boss in the company, I will definitely support you. If you need anything, you can find me at any time. As long as I can help you, I will do it wholeheartedly." Su-yun laughed dryly. The driver's enthusiasm made him feel that there was something wrong with the cigarettes he had given him. He felt embarrassed. "Thank you very much. Let's go to Ocean Park." Chapter 628. Lin Gu and Wang Zhe had already taken Guogua and Bufifan to play in Ocean Park for the whole morning. They were hungry now. Hearing that Su-yun was coming to find them, Guogua was naturally very happy. Although she could play whatever she wanted now, without Su-yun accompanying her, Guogua always felt that something was missing. Fortunately, Su-yun could come to have lunch with her. That was enough. After receiving the notice, they quickly went to the entrance of Ocean Park to wait for Su-yun. The few of them were chatting in boredom. Suddenly, a black extended Rolls-Royce drove in front of them, causing them to be stunned for a moment. Bufifan snorted disdainfully and muttered to himself, "What's so great about it? Isn't it just a Rolls-Royce? It has such a wide door. Why does he have to stop in front of me to show off? Who cares?" Guogua was also very supportive of Bufifan's words. "That's right. What's so great about it? So what if he has money? There are many people in the world who can afford a Rolls-Royce, but not many people show off like this. Humph. When the person inside comes out later, none of us will make way for him. Let's see if he can still show off then." Lin Gu and Wang Zhe had to hand it to these 2 little ancestors. These 2 people were really the type that wasn't afraid of making a big deal out of it. This was really tough for them, because no matter how big of a trouble they caused or how big of a mess they made, they still had to clean up after them. The window of the Rolls-Royce was rolled down. They were instantly dumbfounded because Su-yun's gentle smile was actually in the car. "Dad." Guogua's eyes almost popped out. This was too exaggerated. The person in the car was actually Su-yun. "Where did you rent this car? Although your daughter's status is noble, you don't have to be so extravagant, right?" While they were talking, Guogua opened the car door and ran into the car. "Wow, this is so cool. Where are you going to take them?" Su-yun looked at the driver embarrassedly. What else could the driver say? He could only nod. which meant that he was telling Su-Yun that if they wanted to go anywhere, he would definitely send them. However, he had no choice but to send them off because Bu Fifan, Lin Gu, and Wang Zhe had all gotten into the car. Bu Fifan, in particular, was full of admiration for Su-Yun. "Old Su, you're so awesome. You're treated so well no matter where you go. Whose car is this? They even arranged for a chauffeur to pick you up. This is too much." What else could Su-Yun say? "What do you want to eat? I'll treat you. Won't it be great to take such a luxurious car to eat grilled seafood at the food street?" Guagua said seriously. "Uncle Pigeon, although the owner of the barbecue stall cheated us last night, I have to admit that the grilled seafood there is delicious. I wonder if they're open now." The food street in Qingdao opens at noon and stays open until dawn. Bu Fifan already knew about it from his brother, Wang Yu. "I wonder if the owner of the stall can still work today after being beaten up last night." Lin Gu shrugged. "It's just a few teeth. It's not like he's missing an arm or a leg. He definitely has to open a stall to earn medical fees. Let's go." Su-Yun was confused. He could only ask Wang Zhe, "Did you guys cause trouble last night?" "Well, Brother Yun, it's a long story." Wang Zhe smiled bitterly. "Sir, why don't we drive? There's a food street along the coast about 3 kilometers to the east." Bu Fifan had already started giving directions to the driver. Seeing that Su-Yun had no objection, the driver immediately drove to the food street. He really didn't understand why these people would go to the food street to eat all kinds of food. Even a driver like him wouldn't go to such places if he wanted to eat seafood. He always felt that it was unhygienic. "Guagua, tell me, did you do something bad last night?" Su-Yun really wanted to know what happened last night. Guagua said disapprovingly, "Tell me about yourself first. Where did you go with Auntie Zwa last night? Why couldn't we find you after we returned to the hotel?" "Humph, if you did something bad, then tell us honestly. Mom told me to keep an eye on you when we get to Qingdao." Su-Yun didn't know how to answer Guagua's words. What he did last night was indeed not suitable for children, so he naturally couldn't tell Guagua. What do children know about adult matters? You just have to be obedient and take care of yourself. Don't cause trouble for your pigeon uncle. "We didn't cause any trouble. We were provoked by others. Fortunately, we have the ability to punish evil and promote good," Guagua said proudly. It was obvious that she was very satisfied with the result of last night's incident. The 3-kilometer journey was very short. The Rolls-Royce soon arrived at the barbecue stall where they had eaten last night. The stall owner had many stitches in his mouth, and all his teeth had fallen out. He was greeting customers with a squeak. Seeing such a flashy luxury car coming to his stall, the stall owner's eyes lit up. Such rich people came to eat at his stall. This was definitely a living advertisement for his business. However, the moment the car door opened and the little girl got out, the stall owner almost collapsed to the ground. Then, the adults came out of the car, which made the stall owner tremble. Why are they here again? Are they really not going to let me go? How dedicated. Even with his teeth in this state, he still doesn't forget to make money. Bu Fifan shook his head and said, "We're here to eat, not to cause trouble. Serve us whatever is good. It's best if you can get us something fresh." "Yes, yes, yes." The stall owner didn't dare to say another word. He hurriedly invited them to the seats inside. After getting out of the car, Su-Yun said to the driver, "Anyway, it's time to eat. Come down and eat with us. There's nothing much to do now. Your boss must be eating. You'll have to wait for him when you go back. You can leave after eating. There's nothing urgent. Don't worry. If the big boss calls, I'll take care of it for you." The driver couldn't refuse. He could only eat the barbecued seafood here with Su-Yun and the others. The taste was really good. If they ate in a 5-star hotel, it wouldn't be as fresh as the seafood here. At the very least, the food in the oven here was fresh and tasted delicious. After the meal, the stall owner didn't dare to ask for money no matter what. After politely sending off the big shots, he wanted to slap himself twice. He really didn't have eyes to provoke the children of such rich and powerful families. He deserved to be beaten so badly yesterday. Alas, he was also puzzled. Why would such rich people come to eat barbecue here? He was really speechless. God, please open your eyes. Don't let these rich people come again. I really don't know how to serve them. Since Su-yin came, Guogwa didn't let him stay idle. She asked him to take them to the east, then to the west. The driver was troubled for the whole afternoon. When it was dinner time, Guogwa invited the driver to have dinner together. But the driver's face really couldn't hang a smile. He had been out for the whole afternoon. When he went back, he really didn't know how to explain to the big boss. Alas, it was too troublesome. If he had known, he wouldn't have asked for the 2 cigarettes. Su-yin saw that he was in a dilemma, so he asked him to send them back to Ocean Park, and then let him leave. Wang Zhe drove his own car, and rushed back to the hotel with everyone. Lin Go asked curiously, "Bro, whose car is that? They even arranged a chauffeur to take you around. You're so influential that I can't believe it." "It's the big boss's," Su-yin said lightly. Lin Go and Wang Zhe's expression stiffened. Big Boss, they had heard this name in the snow forest of Shangan Mountain. It was the name that the leaders of the Viper expedition called. Hiss. Lin Go and Wang Zhe couldn't help but gasp. They focused their eyes on Su-yin's face, hoping to hear him say it more clearly. "Yes, it's the person you're thinking of now. Su-yin. I met him today. I didn't expect him to find me in Qingdao so soon. Haha, I didn't expect an acquaintance to be his lawyer." Lin Ge said nervously, "Brother, what does he want? Are you okay?" "Don't worry, he didn't do anything to me. Instead, he was very polite to me." Su-yin. "Although I know this politeness is not a good thing. A hungry wolf is easy to deal with. A smiling tiger is much more dangerous. But I know in my heart that he hasn't reached the point where he can't tolerate my existence." Wang Zhe frowned and said, "Brother Yin, he's polite to you probably because he knows that only you can help him enter the homeland of the Packer clan." "That's right." Su-yin nodded and admitted, "If not for this reason, he would have arranged for someone to deal with me long ago. It can be said that I'm a thorn in his heart. If he doesn't remove me, he will never feel comfortable. But unfortunately, this thorn in his heart is someone he has to ask for help from. So don't worry, I'm still very safe for the time being." Guogwa and Bufifan were very obedient and didn't say anything. They knew that this was not the time to joke. They could only act obediently, so that Su-yin wouldn't have to take care of them, and could use all his energy to deal with the bad guys. Bao Tianxia's driver finally returned to the private club after 6 hours. When Zhang Meng saw him, he cursed, King thought you died outside. You just went to send someone off. Even if there was a traffic jam, it couldn't have lasted for 6 hours. Come, follow me to see the big boss." The driver was trembling in fear as Zhang Meng dragged him to Bao Tianxia. "Big boss, it's not that I didn't want to come back earlier, but Mr. Su asked me to take him and his friends to the Ocean Park, to the food street, and to the west coast to watch the tide. I really didn't know how to get away," the driver hurriedly explained. Bao Tianxia smiled and said, very good, you did well. Mr. Su is my honored guest. If he has any requests, of course you have to do your best to satisfy him." "Big boss." Zhang Meng was stunned. The big boss was still angry just now. Why did he suddenly change his attitude? Bao Tianxia raised his hand and motioned for Zhang Meng to stop talking. He continued to talk to the driver. "You must have received some benefits from Mr. Su to satisfy his requests, right? He, as the saying goes, if you receive benefits from others, you will be in trouble. Am I right?" The driver opened his mouth wide and looked at the big boss in surprise. In his eyes, the big boss was a legend who could predict things like a god. He didn't see it, so how could he know that he had received benefits from others? "Go, bring me those 2 cigarettes. Bao Tianxia said lightly. "It's not your fault. It's not that I don't want to give you cigarettes, but there's something in them. I don't want my driver to become a delirious drug addict." Chapter 629. When the driver absent-mindedly brought the cigarettes in front of Bao Tianxia, Zhang Meng stepped forward and kicked the driver to the ground. Then he scolded fiercely, "You traitor! How did the big boss treat you? How dare you accept other people's benefits and be their driver for a whole day? Don't you know who pays your salary?" "I was wrong, I know I was wrong. I didn't think too much about it." I thought that since Big Boss wanted me to give it to him, I should listen to his orders. Big Boss, I beg you, forgive me. I really didn't mean to take the things he gave me. I really didn't mean to. The driver sat on the ground, his face pale. Recently, Big Boss was in a bad mood. He didn't know what kind of punishment he would receive. Zhang Meng was still unforgiving. Wrong? You should bear the consequences of doing something wrong. What do you think you should do? Do you want me to give you a ride? Or do you want to feed the fish in the lake? I beg you, Big Boss, don't. I've never been disloyal to you since I followed you. I really don't have any intention of betraying you. The driver's face became even more miserable after hearing the serious consequences. He also knew what terrible things were in the lake. I beg you, give me a chance. Li Chun's attitude was completely different from Zhang Meng's. She whispered to Bao Tianxia. Big Boss, actually, he made an unexpected contribution in this matter. He made up for my mistake and brought the cigarettes back. Please give him a chance. Bao Tianxia nodded and said softly, I never said I would punish him. It's just that he felt sorry for me. Well, you can leave now. This has nothing to do with you. The driver hurriedly bowed and thanked him. Then he quickly ran out of the room and ran away. Zhang Meng looked at Bao Tianxia and Li Chun with an incomprehensible expression. Big Boss, why? He almost became someone's henchman. Why did you let him go? Little Meng, don't look at the problem like that. Some things are not as simple as you think. The Big Boss said indifferently. Although I had him send Su Yun off for a whole 6 hours this time, he gave me an inspiration because of this matter. Su Yun really knows how to win people's hearts. If he really cooperates with me, I have to guard against this. It would only take him 1 day to get my driver to treat him like he treated me. What if it was a week? Ha ha ha. Perhaps even you, Zhang Meng, will treat him the same way you treat me. Impossible. Zhang Meng snorted. Right now he only wanted to kill Su Yun. Only then would he be able to dispel the resentment in his heart. Li Chun said indifferently. Don't be so absolute. Big Boss's worries can't be wrong. Zhang Meng, your weakness is that you are too straightforward. Everything is written on your face. If a smart person wants to make use of you, it will be too easy. Zhang Meng's eyes widened. He suddenly felt that the world was so sinister that even he could be used by others. Very simple? How could this be? Li Chun, don't think that just because Big Boss thinks that you are smarter than me, you can say that about me. Zhang Meng snorted softly. Humph, no one dares to make use of me these days. Bao Tianxia was very disdainful of Zhang Meng's conceit. He said coldly, Today, Su Yun has already made use of your temper and straightforwardness to pave a way for him to leave safely. Zhang Meng was confused. Big Boss, what do you mean? If you don't understand, then slowly think about it. Exercise your brain. Bao Tianxia frowned and waved his hand. Both of you go out. I want to be alone for a while. Zhang Meng and Li Chun had just walked out of Big Boss's room when Zhang Meng grabbed Li Chun. What did Big Boss mean just now? Did Su Yun make use of me? Help me analyze it. Why do I feel that everything is wrong with me? Li Chun impatiently glared at Zhang Meng. Big Boss asked you to think about it yourself. Don't you understand him? Think about it yourself. Don't come to me for everything. You don't really want to become a brainless fool, do you? Zhang Meng's muscles tightened. The muscles on his face twitched. Li Chun, do you think that because Big Boss thinks highly of you, you can talk to me like this? Li Chun felt the murderous aura on Zhang Meng. Such a brainless guy did not care about the consequences of his actions. If she really angered him, he might really dare to attack her. At that time, she would not have the chance to regret. Brother Meng, Su Yun is making use of your temper to divert Big Boss's attention from him. Because Big Boss knows you too well, he knows that you have a bad temper and your words are direct. So Su Yun keeps provoking you and making you angry. Then Big Boss will think that it is because your attitude disturbed Su Yun, so Big Boss will give Su Yun a chance to leave. Do you understand? Zhang Meng's brain could not even keep up with Li Chun's speed. After thinking for a while, he suddenly understood. Big Boss also just figured it out. Su Yun made use of your personality to fool all of us. Li Chun said, but the more he does, the more Big Boss appreciates him and wants to use him for himself. Zhang Meng patted his head hard. Insidious, Suyin is really insidious. Well, Brother Meng, even Big Boss almost can't outsmart him, let alone us. Li Chun smiled and said with her charming eyes, Brother Meng, Big Boss needs to rest now. We can finally relax. How about I invite you to have a drink? Seeing Li Chun's coquettish appearance, Zhang Meng was stunned for a moment, but his eyes were quickly buried in front of the natural cleavage on Li Chun's chest. He nodded and said, Good. I'll treat. After the two went downstairs, Li Chun went to find the driver who sent Suyin away, and whispered a few words. Then she walked to Zhang Meng and sat in Zhang Meng's car. Zhang Meng was not happy all day today. Now he needed a woman to vent. He did not expect Li Chun, who had never looked at him directly, to take the initiative to throw out an ambiguous signal today. Humph, Zhang Meng thought, presumably, this little coquettish woman is not a good person. She pretended to be virtuous before, but in fact, she is a bitch who deserves to be beaten. The car drove all the way to the bustling bar street in the city. It seemed that every city now had a nightlife representative area. Even the nightclubs in small counties began to cluster together, let alone these first-tier and second-tier big cities in the country. Along the way, Li Chun kept teasing Zhang Meng with frivolous words, which made Zhang Meng a little distracted while driving. Several times, the car almost crashed into the fence in the middle of the road. If there was anyone to blame, it was Li Chun, this coquettish woman. Not only did she tease him verbally, but she also used her fingers to pat, press, and touch Zhang Meng's thigh from time to time. This caused Zhang Meng's underlings to set up a tent regardless of the occasion. Finally, the car arrived at the destination, but Zhang Meng refused to get out of the car. He couldn't get out of the car with a tent in his pants. It would be a joke if he was seen. After taking a few deep breaths, Zhang Meng finally calmed his mood. But as soon as he got out of the car, Li Chun leaned over and whispered in his ear. Brother Meng, I didn't expect you to be so fierce. You haven't done anything yet, but you are already a pillar supporting the sky. If something really happens, will you also have a golden gun that won't fall down? Even if I have to fight you for 800 rounds, I will definitely not fall down. As Zhang Meng spoke, he felt a surge of heat in his heart. He quickly pulled Li Chun into the nightclub because only in the dark environment and the complicated lighting in the nightclub, he didn't have to worry about being seen by others. Li Chun sneered in her heart. Zhang Meng was really something. Not only was he brainless, but even his little brother was also brainless. He was also a hothead. He didn't even consider what kind of woman Li Chun was, and wanted to have a relationship with her. Zhang Meng's weakness was not only that he was brainless, but also that he was a pervert who was lustful when he met a woman. In the ancient language, there was a knife above the word pervert. This sentence was actually very serious, but how many people didn't understand the meaning of this sentence now? There were too many. Most people who came to the nightclub were empty and lonely. They could only find their sense of existence in this kind of place. The special stimulation brought by strange men and women would make them find comfort in the depths of their souls. However, there were also a small number of people who came to the nightclub for special purposes, such as some transactions that couldn't be seen in the light of day. Those who sold powder were also nightclub regulars. Of course, there were also a few people who came to this kind of place to plot. Obviously, Li Chun was the last type. The two had just sat down and ordered drinks when Zhang Meng's big hand couldn't wait to touch Li Chun's thigh. Li Chun only smiled and accepted all the invasions of Zhang Meng's hands on her body. She generously poured wine for him and let him drink. After 2 bottles of wine, Zhang Meng, who was slightly drunk, began to feel unsatisfied with just having his hands on Li Chun. He wanted more and more. However, just as he was about to take a step further, Li Chun pushed his body away. Just as Zhang Meng didn't understand the reason, Li Chun said faintly, Brother Meng, in fact, our good days are not long. I don't know if you have considered this problem. What do you mean? Zhang Meng was stunned for a moment. Why do you say that, Li Chun? There aren't many people in this world who live more comfortably than us. The money that the big boss gives us every year is enough for many people to earn for several lifetimes. Why do you say that? If the big boss doesn't need us, do you think we can leave safely with the money? You are too naive, Brother Meng. Think about the end of Captain Liu Bei. Li Chun said. Zhang Meng seemed to be half sober. Because Liu Bei wanted to rebel. He asked for it. Who asked him to meet Su Yun in Xing'an Mountain? He met Su Yun in Xing'an Mountain. Didn't we meet Su Yun in the same place? It's just that the location has changed. Li Chun continued. It's just one meeting, but the big boss appreciates Su Yun. Have you ever thought that if Su Yun really cooperates with the big boss, will there still be a place for us in the company? Su Yun has everything that the two of us have. With Su Yun, do you think the big boss still needs us? Zhang Meng was a little excited. But Su Yun doesn't agree. The big boss hasn't cooperated with him yet. If the big boss is annoyed one day, he will naturally ask me to kill him. At that time, we will still be like this. Nothing will happen. Is there anything that the big boss wants that he can't get? Li Chun raised his voice, but in the chaotic and noisy nightclub, it didn't affect anyone at all. The only person who was stunned was Zhang Meng himself. Yes, the big boss would do anything to get what he wanted. Sooner or later he would get it. Sooner or later, the big boss would get Su Yun, and let Su Yun help him get the world treasures under the ice and snow forest of Xing'an Mountain. Chapter 630. Zhang Meng was almost sober now. Indeed, Li Chun was right. If the big boss had Su Yun, a guy with both integrity, intelligence, and martial arts as his right-hand man, what else did he need them to do? Was there any reason and meaning for their existence? Li Chun's words were like pouring wisdom into his head. It directly woke Zhang Meng up completely, but Zhang Meng had no good ideas. He pinned all his hopes on Li Chun. What should we do? How can we prevent the big boss from getting Su Yun? I worked so hard to get everything in the company. I will never allow anyone to take it away. Yes, Brother Meng. Everything we got today was not easy. We must not give anyone a chance to take away our position. Li Chun said. Do you know why I took the risk of being thrown into the lake by the big boss to give the cigarette mixed with white powder to Su Yun? I did it for us. I wanted to destroy Su Yun so that he would not have the capital to compete with us. But Su Yun was smarter than I thought. He directly threw the cigarette to the driver. Zhang Meng looked at Li Chun in confusion. What should we do now? Did you put poison in the tea leaves? Tea is usually not drunk by one person. I don't want to make things worse. Li Chun shook her head helplessly. She regretted not poisoning the tea. In the final analysis, there was not enough time. If she took too long to get the tea, the big boss would be suspicious. If the big boss knew that she poisoned the person who the big boss wanted to win over, then she, Li Chun, would not be far from being fed to the fish. We can't be in a deadlock like this. I have to solve this threat and trouble. Zhang Meng's expression was gloomy. We have to get rid of Su Yun. Only by getting rid of him can the big boss completely give up. Only in this way can we rest easy. Li Chun was really surprised by Zhang Meng's words. She really didn't expect Zhang Meng to suddenly analyze the problem. Brother Meng, you're right. We have to get rid of Su Yun before the big boss and Su Yun reach an agreement. Only by getting rid of Su Yun can we be useful to the big boss. Only then will he continue to treat us well, and not kick us away like we're dead dogs. Zhang Meng's eyes flashed with killing intent. Li Chun's words had deeply stimulated his brain. He knew very well what he wanted to do now, and what he should do. He had to solve this problem. I just asked the driver about the hotel they might be at, Li Chun said indifferently. As long as we find him and get rid of him, we can solve all our worries. Zhang Meng nodded. All right, then tell me where the hotel is. I'll deal with him right now. Brother Meng, you're being impulsive again. We still can't be sure if Su Yun has other people around him. If we go after him with great fanfare, we might end up with a loss. Li Chun said. If you want us to succeed at once, then I have a plan. I'll tell you now. Yes. I'm all ears. Zhang Meng admired Li Chun very much. At the very least, the things she arranged rarely failed. Zhang Meng really didn't care about Su Yun at all to have a strategist to give him advice. After a busy day, everyone had dinner together at the hotel. The only one they didn't see was Zhua Meiyan. Zui Yeming and Wang Zhe had worn out iron shoes looking for her, but to no avail. In the end, they had to give up. At least Zhua Meiyan's phone was connected, and she was safe. She just said that she wanted to be alone for a while, so she didn't tell them where she was. Brother-in-law, did you reject my sister when you two went out for a romantic night last night? Zui Yeming said unhappily. Brother-in-law, you should be content. So many people drooled over my sister, but she didn't even look at them. You, on the other hand, didn't even open your mouth when my sister came to you. Su Yun glared at him. Don't talk nonsense. What do you know? Don't talk nonsense. Stay where you are. Lin Gu used to support Su Yun in everything, but this time, he felt that Zui Yeming's analysis was right. Brother, women are actually very fragile. Even if you want to reject them, you have to be more tactful and tactful. You can't be so direct with everything. With your temper, to be honest, most people can't stand it. You understand? Su Yun was completely speechless. Are you full? If not, you can eat slowly. I'm going back to rest. Zui Meiyan is an adult. Nothing will happen to her. Don't worry. After returning to his room, Su Yun was finally able to calm down. He knew very well why Zui Meiyan had left. She needed a quiet environment to break through the bottleneck of her state of mind. If Su Yun was by her side, Zui Meiyan wouldn't be able to calm herself down. Therefore, Su Yun was very relieved. He didn't allow anyone to call and disturb her. After arriving at Qingdao, Su Yun experienced a rare feeling of relaxation. However, the invitation from the big boss made Su Yun fall into chaos. He didn't want his life to be disrupted, nor did he want the lives of the Packer people to be disrupted. Therefore, he absolutely couldn't accept Bao Tianxia's invitation. However, Su Yun was also wary of Bao Tianxia. Bao Tianxia was capable of many things. He could secretly arrange for assassins to kill him and Wang Xinyu. And he could also personally come out to greet him, the person who had ruined his plans. Bao Tianxia was a flexible person. Su Yun knew how scary such a person could be. You never knew what he would do next. With his mind in a mess, Su Yun found it difficult to fall asleep. Unknowingly, it was already late at night. Just as Su Yun was about to force himself to sleep, the phone in the room rang. Su Yun was stunned for a moment. Then he picked it up. Hello? Hello, sir. We are from the hotel's room service department. May I ask if you need any services? We have massages, pedicures, and... Are there any acrobatic performances? Is there a magic show? Su Yun didn't wait for the other party to finish. If not, don't call again. I'm in a bad mood. Don't make me angry. After hanging up the phone, Su Yun began to think of Xingkai Hotel. She reckoned that in the past, Xingkai Hotel must have had this kind of special service. To put it bluntly, it was a business for old ladies to introduce outside girls. Su Yun was too lazy to think about this. Sleeping was the most important thing right now. Knock, knock, knock. The knocking on the door interrupted Su Yun's sleepiness. Even a good-tempered person would get impatient sometimes. Who is it? Are you crazy in the middle of the night? Chairman Su, it's me. A woman's voice sounded. Su Yun said impatiently. I already said that I don't need your special service. I don't have money. Scram. Chairman Su, I think you have misunderstood. The woman's voice sounded from outside the door. It's me. Who? Su Yun frowned. He tried to recall the voice in his mind. Soon he realized. How did Bao Tianxia's people find this place? Su Yun immediately realized that they had misspoken in the Rolls-Royce. They had said the name of the hotel. Damn it. Bao Tianxia had found this place. It seemed that Bao Tianxia was Su Yun's #1 problem now. Fortunately, the room that Su Yun was in was the one that Zui Meiyan had booked last night. He was not on the same floor as the others. This more or less comforted Su Yun. He did not want Bao Tianxia's trouble to affect Guogua, Bu Fifan, and the others. Su Yun put on his clothes and opened the door. He had guessed correctly. Bao Tianxia's female assistant, Li Chun, was standing outside the door. Hello, Chairman Su. Li Chun smiled. Can I come in? It's so late. It's not good for a man and a woman to be alone. Miss Li, if you have something to say, please say it. Su Yun smiled faintly. I don't think the big boss sent you here at this time. When Su Yun saw this woman for the first time, he was sure that she was not simple. A woman who was so weak that she could not even truss a chicken could have such a high status by Bao Tianxia's side. Clearly, This woman had outstanding abilities in some aspects. Either she was good in bed, and could make Bao Tianxia lose himself in her, or she had outstanding intelligence, and was an indispensable talent by Bao Tianxia's side. Or this woman had both. If that was the case, then it was really scary. Chairman Su, you are indeed a smart person. The big boss did not send me here. I wanted to come here. Li Chun nodded and admitted. Can I come in and talk now? The corridor is still a bit cold. I'm not wearing much. Chairman Su is a person who has tender feelings for women. You won't reject me, right? As she spoke, Li Chun had already started to walk into the room. Su Yun believed that as long as he treated this matter calmly, he would not fall into her trap. At worst, she would not believe him no matter what he said. There was no harm in letting her in. After all, he was a man. If he was afraid of a woman entering his room, he would be a laughingstock. After the two returned to the room, Su Yun did not do any of the polite things that a host should do. He said concisely, Miss Li, why did you visit so late at night? If you have something to say, just say it. Li Chun's face showed a touch of sadness. Chairman Su, then you must promise me that if I say anything, you must not tell the big boss. Otherwise, he will definitely punish me. The big boss's punishment is often a dead end. When a weak woman was so delicate and pitiful in front of you, any man would have tender feelings for her. Su Yun was also a man. Of course, he would have some faint sympathy. However, this pity only lasted for a moment. Su Yun once again reminded himself that this woman was very dangerous. He could not believe anything she said. Once he believed it, the one who would be in trouble would be himself. Since Miss Li knows that it is so dangerous to offend the big boss, why do you take the risk? Su Yun smiled slightly. I am not related to you. We just met once. Why would you believe me? This doesn't seem to make sense. Miss Li, I know that you are a smart person. A smart person would not do such a stupid thing. Li Chun did not change any mood because of Su Yun's words. She was still depressed and said, Chairman Su, haven't you heard that a woman who falls in love has zero IQ? No matter how smart I am in your heart, I am still a woman. Fall in love. Su Yun was stunned. Miss Li, you came to me in the middle of the night. Don't tell me that you fell in love with me. Then you should find the guy you fell in love with. It has nothing to do with me. I am here to find the guy I fell in love with. Li Chun met Su Yun's gaze and said firmly. Chapter 631. Su Yun shook his head, not knowing whether to laugh or cry. Miss Li, you'd better not make such a silly joke. I've only met you once and we're on opposite sides. What reason do you have to love me? Ha ha ha, your joke is a bit too much. If you have something to say, just say it. Do I need a reason to love someone? Li Chun's eyes flashed with tears. Mr. Su, it seems that you are also a person who has never loved anyone. You don't need a reason to love someone. A person who has never loved will not understand the joys, sorrows, and spicy feelings of love. Su Yun certainly understood that love didn't need a reason. He also knew that love didn't need a reason at all. Of course, he had experienced this feeling. But he still felt that Li Chun's so-called love was too sudden and too ridiculous. Miss Li, if a person suddenly appeared on the side of the road and told you that he was in love with you, would you accept it? Su Yun shrugged her shoulders and said, I think if you are a normal woman, you will definitely reward him with a big slap on the mouth. How ridiculous it is for someone who doesn't even have the basic social skills to say that he loves you. But we're not people who don't have social skills. Li Chun said. Whether it's your behavior or your words, they deeply attract me. If it weren't for that, I wouldn't have risked coming here in the middle of the night to find you. Mr. Su, can't you try to understand me? Think about why I'm doing this. Su Yun laughed dryly. That's true. If it weren't for your love for me, why would you come here in the middle of the night to find me? Ha ha ha, but when I said it myself, I thought it was a joke. Mr. Su, you really don't understand women. You really don't understand a woman's heart. A woman can do anything for the man she loves. No matter how dangerous it is, she won't hesitate. Li Chun's eyes were firm and her voice was resolute. Su Yun gave her a thumbs up. Miss Li, I don't think you should be in this line of work. If you enter the film academy and become an actress, Sky Entertainment Group will definitely sign you. We will definitely make you an internationally famous actress. It's much better than you doing these things that are neither human nor ghost. At least it's not a crime. At least it's something that's presentable. Li Chun suddenly wanted to cry. Mr. Su, how can you say that about me? I'm really sincere to you. I also don't want to do those illegal things with the big boss, but I have no choice. I came to you now because I hope you can save me and help me. I know you're an upright person and won't wallow in the mire with the big boss, so please take me away, okay? You and the big boss are jackals of the same tribe. Where can I take you? Su Yin smiled. Just about there. Your acting is really good. Li Chun looked at Su Yin innocently. What do you want me to do to make you believe me? I can give you everything I have, including myself. After saying that, Li Chun suddenly unbuttoned his shirt and took off all his clothes with a whoosh. His entire body was exposed in front of Su Yin without any concealment. Speaking of this woman's figure, only by taking it off could he be sure whether it was adulterated or not. Li Chun was definitely the real deal. She looked the same when she wore the clothes and took them off. The places that should be protruding were protruding, the places that should be protruding were protruding, and the places that should be thin were thin. She was definitely a stunner in the world. However, it was a pity that Su Yin had no interest in such a beautiful woman. It wasn't that Su Yin wasn't manly enough, but Su Yin was very clear that a woman with such superb acting skills was definitely more poisonous than a poisonous snake. If there was a little carelessness and negligence, he might be bitten by her. The bite was bound to be a fatal injury. Miss Lee, can you stop pretending? Hee, before I leave, you gave me 2 problematic cigarettes? Tell me, is it poison or white powder inside? Su Yin directly tore off Li Chun's mask. You have already done such a thing. How can I believe you? Even if you take off all your clothes, you won't be able to wash away your thoughts of crippling me. Li Chun shook her head vigorously and denied. These things were given to you by the big boss. I don't know anything. You don't know anything? Then why did the big boss's eyes flash with doubt when you gave me the cigarettes? Miss Lee, since I've already said so much, you should also give up on your performance. Su Yin. I admit that your performance was very wonderful. But sorry, Su Yin, am not the kind of person who can't see. Li Chun's expression finally returned to normal. She picked up the clothes on the ground and put them on. She said lightly, no wonder the big boss said that he wanted to see if you were Sun Wukong. Chairman Su really has sharp eyes. Cut the crap. What exactly do you want by coming here to find me? Su Yin said coldly. Chairman Su, I just don't want a rare talent like you to steal my job. Li Chun said bluntly. Su Yin Shuang chuckled. Miss Lee, you're thinking too much. I really won't steal your job. I won't do something immoral like digging up someone's ancestral grave. You can rest assured. But, since you are here today, I'm afraid it's not as simple as just saying a few words to me. The guest who came with you can also come out. As soon as he finished speaking, Zhang Ming broke through the window and sneered. Su Yin, you really made me look at you in a new light. The big boss can appreciate you so much, because you can use your brain better than me. Humph, but you use so many brains. I'm afraid you didn't think that I would go against the big boss's wishes and directly kill you. I really didn't think that a brainless guy like you would think of this. Su Yin smiled. But I really know that Miss Lee is not so easy to deal with. I admit, although I knew that Miss Lee would find trouble with me, I didn't expect it to be so soon. Miss Lee, if I'm not wrong, today's decision was also made suddenly. Li Chun sneered. Is there any point in saying this now? Su Yin wagged his finger. Of course it's meaningful. Your original plan was to finish me off after I've become a drug-addicted cripple after smoking these 2 cartons of cigarettes. At that time, you wouldn't need to spend too much effort, and you wouldn't need to use your body in exchange for Zhang Meng's help. Am I right? Li Chun's face became more and more ugly. She didn't answer Su Yun's words but said to Zhang Meng, you must kill him today. Otherwise, both of us will suffer. Don't worry, Zhang Meng said fiercely. He had wanted to kill Su Yun for a long time. Su Yun's expression was still calm. Miss Li, Zhang Meng is just a chess piece for you, a knife to kill people. You have already made an alibi for yourself, but you let Zhang Meng leave traces of fighting with me at the scene. When the big boss investigates, you won't have any trouble because Zhang Meng will be your scapegoat. Zhang Meng, who was about to attack, was stunned when he heard Su Yun's words. He broke out in a cold sweat. From the beginning to the end, because of the alcohol, Zhang Meng didn't think of any consequences. If the big boss knew that he killed the person he wanted, wouldn't he be miserable? Li Chun, whose plot was exposed, was full of murderous intent. Zhang Meng, don't listen to his provocation. This person has too many ideas. Don't believe what he says. Li Chun, Su has a lot of ideas. But why do I feel that your ideas aren't small either? Zhang Meng said coldly. You didn't F*King look at me before, but today you took the initiative to let me touch you and play with you. So you have a F*King plan. You want me to be your scapegoat. Good. What a deep plot. You are much smarter than I thought. Do you really think I have no brains? Li Chun was a little flustered. Brother Meng, I'm definitely not like what he said. We are grasshoppers on the same rope. You should be very clear about this. I definitely didn't use you. You didn't use me? Then why did you King take a picture with the boss in front of the bar? Why didn't you ask me to take a picture with you? Zhang Meng said. You can use a picture to prove that you weren't with me. Isn't it? F*CK. You be *TCH. Su Yun whistled and clapped his hands. Congratulations, you can use your brain to think. Li Chun was still explaining. No, I really didn't. I really didn't mean that. Don't be fooled by Su Yun. Then you King stand in front of Su Yun, and let me take a picture with you. Zhang Meng scolded. I'll see if you still dare to trick me like this. You want to trick me? You are too inexperienced. Today I will kill all of you. I also know how to make up a story. I will say that you two have an affair. King colluded with Su Yun to rebel against the big boss, so I killed you in anger. Humph, who doesn't know how to lie? Lying is using your brain. Today, I finally know what it means to use your brain. If you say so, the big boss will never believe it. Li Chun said. Brother Meng, I beg you not to do stupid things. We will follow the plan. I promise that we will be fine. Su Yun also agreed. Using your brain is not lying. Your lie is full of loopholes. This is the first time I met your big boss. How can I have an affair with Miss Li? Sigh, unless the big boss is a fool like you who doesn't use his brain, otherwise he will never believe your words. You are the King fool. Zhang Meng was angry. He suddenly kicked at Su Yun. Fortunately, Su Yun's reaction was fast enough. He dodged sideways and blocked Zhang Meng's kick with his fists. Then he counterattacked with a whip kick. Zhang Meng quickly blocked Su Yun's kick with his fists. Suddenly he jumped high with his feet. He used his strength to split Mount Hua. His heel smashed at the top of Su Yun's head. Su Yun quickly raised his arms to block Zhang Meng's downward slash. At the same time, he kicked Zhang Meng's lower abdomen without any fancy moves. Zhang Meng could not dodge in time, and could only take the hit. He held his lower abdomen, and quickly retreated a few steps. Seeing that the two of them were fighting, Li Chun wanted to take the opportunity to slip away. However, Zhang Meng, who had retreated behind her, grabbed her hair and pulled her in front of him. Want to leave? It's not that easy. Today you and I are in the same boat. Don't even think about escaping. After that, Zhang Meng slapped Li Chun's back angrily and pushed Li Chun toward Su Yun. Su Yun reflexively pushed Li Chun away, and threw her on the bed. Zhang Meng's fist hit Su Yun's shoulder at the same time. Su Yun could only retreat quickly, and try his best to reduce the damage to his body. Chapter 632. Many people say that after God takes away what you should have in one aspect, He will compensate you more in another aspect. Su Yun finally understood this principle. God had taken away Zhang Meng's brain and speed of thought, but He had given him an extremely strong body. While he was attacking Su Yun fiercely, there was no defense to speak of at all. So even when Su Yun was defending with all his might, he was still able to find the opponent's weak points in a few moments to launch a heavy punch. As a super expert, Su Yin was very clear about the strength of his punches. At the very least, he wouldn't let Zhang Meng hit his body easily. He would try his best to defend against every punch. If he didn't defend with all his strength, any of his opponent's punches could hurt him. However, Zhang Meng didn't think about defense. After taking 3 punches from Su Yin, he was still able to maintain his initial fighting strength. He continued to force Su Yin to stay in the corner. The 3 punches that Su Yin gave Zhang Meng at the right time were definitely not feints. He had used all his strength, but even so, Zhang Meng was able to withstand them. It was no wonder that Bao Tianxia kept Zhang Meng by his side as a bodyguard. Although this guy didn't have much of a brain, he was born with an impenetrable body. Opportunities were always given to those who were prepared. Although Su Yin was at a disadvantage, he didn't panic. He was very clear about when his real opportunity would come. Finally, Li Chun, who had been thrown to the ground, stood up. At this moment, her thoughts were simpler than anyone else's. She had to escape. Only by escaping would she have a chance to live. Otherwise, a simple-minded guy like Zhang Meng would dare to kill her with just a few words from Su Yin. Zhang Meng, who was seething with anger, would never let Li Chun leave. He didn't know what this damned woman would say in front of his boss. He definitely couldn't let her succeed. The moment Li Chun got up and was about to run, he made the first decision that flashed through his mind. He turned around and pounced on Li Chun. Li Chun, who was about to escape, fell heavily to the ground. Li Chun was not an expert who practiced ancient martial arts. How could he withstand the torment of a rough person like Zhang Meng? After being thrown to the ground, he spat out a mouthful of blood due to the huge impact on his chest. His vision began to blur. Su Yin's chance came. Just as Zhang Meng pulled away from him, Su Yin also exerted force with his heel and rose from the ground. Zhang Meng had knocked Li Chun over, but his back had taken a full-force kick from Su Yin. Before he could say anything to Li Chun, he quickly rolled twice and retreated to the wall. The pain from his back made his killing intent even stronger. Su Yin really admired this guy for not being able to hurt his opponent's spine with such a heavy kick. Could it be that this guy had practiced the Golden Bell Shield, an iron skin technique with the Shaolin Temple? The chaotic situation quickly turned into a tripartite confrontation. Li Chun's face was pale, and there was a trace of blood at the corner of her mouth. She said, "If you let me go, we'll pretend that nothing happened today. Believe me, I have the ability to settle all of this." "Settle my ass." Zhang Meng scolded angrily. "Today, even if I let Su Yin go, I will never let you go. If you talk nonsense in front of the boss again, I'm afraid I won't even know how I died." Li Chun shook her head vigorously. "Absolutely not. I swear, I promise that I can make the boss not know anything. Believe me, we are now grasshoppers on the same rope. I will never do anything stupid. Leave the boss to me. I have a way to make him never know what happened today." Zhang Meng admitted that Li Chun's words moved him. At least he didn't want to make today's matter big. If he really couldn't explain it to the boss, then he would be dead. "Why are you so confident that you can explain it?" An unfathomable smile hung on Su Yin's face. "You're too confident in your companion. We've only just started fighting, and you're already so sure that I'm the one who's going to die? Haha. Besides, even if you are right, if I die today, you and Zhang Meng are not with the boss. Do you think the boss is a fool? Won't he suspect you? Besides, Zhang Meng, do you really have full confidence in killing me?" "Of course," Zhang Meng said fiercely. Su Yin scoffed in disdain. "If you guys were really confident, you wouldn't have thought of using the honey trap to distract me from the beginning. Fortunately, Miss Li's charm isn't enough. If I really fell for it, I wouldn't have the ability to defend against a villain's sneak attack when I'm having sex with Miss Li on the bed. Who are you calling a villain? Today, even if I don't sneak attack you, I will still kill you," Zhang Meng said and was about to attack again. "No," Li Chun shouted. "Brother Meng, listen to me. He can't die. If he dies, the boss will definitely suspect us. I admit that I did intentionally make an alibi when I brought you here. Now I know that I was wrong. I don't want to continue tricking you. We can't kill him." Zhang Meng's fists were almost crushed. At this moment, he really wanted to kill the 2 people in front of him, but the pressure and fear brought by the boss made him endure. You are too naive. Do you really think that I will let you go? Su Yin smiled. Miss Li, give me a reason. Li Chun had convinced Zhang Meng. She tried to adjust her breathing and said to Su Yin, Su Yin, we came here today to prove that we don't want you to cooperate with the boss. You also don't want to cooperate with the boss. It can be said that our goals are the same, so we should be allies. Su Yin clapped and cheered. Go on. Since we are allies and we have a common goal, why don't we work hard for this common goal? Li Chun said. Believe me, I will try my best to help you find a way to make the boss stop trying to rope you in. At that time, we will all do what you want. Is that okay? Miss Li, I know you are a smart person, but I am not a fool after all. Su Yin said. If one day the boss is convinced by you and doesn't need you to rope me in, then he will definitely kill me. How can I not know such a simple truth? Li Chun hurriedly said. I promise I have a way. I will help you deal with the boss. Su Yin still shook his head. But why should I believe you? You don't have a reason for me to believe you. I believe that a person who wanted to kill me a few minutes ago will help me unless my brain is the same as his. After that, Su Yin pointed his finger at Zhang Meng. Zhang Meng was furious when he heard this. If Li Chun hadn't reached out to stop him, he would have already fought with Su Yin again. Su Yin, you have fought with Zhang Meng just now. Although the strength of the two of you is comparable, I believe that Zhang Meng will win. Li Chun said coldly, because his ability to resist attacks is definitely one of the best in the world, but you can't do it. Under the same situation, he can survive, but you may not. Do you think it is necessary for you to continue fighting? Su Yin was very clear about what Li Chun meant. She meant that Zhang Meng could use moves that could kill 1,000 enemies, but hurt 800 of his own to deal with him. He could even use moves that could kill both of them. The one who would die like this would be Su Yin, not Zhang Meng. Of course, Su Yin also admitted to Li Chun's words. If Zhang Meng really risked being beaten badly by Su Yin to kill him, then Su Yin really couldn't do anything about it. It's a pity, Miss Li. When you first came to my room, you spent too much time talking nonsense. That gave me plenty of time to prepare. Su Yin smiled. If you really think I like one-on-one duels, you're wrong. Li Chun and Zhang Meng's expressions suddenly changed. As soon as Su Yin finished speaking, several figures appeared at the door and the window. Lin Ge, Wang Zhe, Zui Yeming, Zhang Wenning, Zhang Yongliang, a supermaster and 4 top first-class masters appeared, instantly changing the whole situation. Su Yin didn't care. He still had a faint smile on his face because when he first saw Li Chun, he knew that he was in trouble. Coincidentally, his phone was beside him. While chatting with Li Chun, he dialed Lin Ji's phone, which was placed on the side of the bed. Lin Ge naturally heard all the conversation. Su Yin wasn't a stubborn person. In the face of unknown danger, he wouldn't stupidly choose to deal with it alone. His brothers were all here. If they all faced it together, they would have the best chance of winning. Miss Li, you should know that in the snow forest of Xing'an Mountain, I can't kill so many captains of your company by myself. But why are you so confident that you can kill me with Zhang Meng? Su Yin shrugged. What makes you think that I live in this hotel alone? Li Chun's expression was blank. She kept murmuring to herself. Impossible. Impossible. I have checked all the guests in the surrounding rooms. How is it possible? Do we have to live next door? Do we have to live on the same floor? Su Yin said lightly. I don't know if I should say that you are smart all your life but stupid this time, or that you are too smart for your own good. Lin Ge shook his head disdainfully. Brother, if you are really smart, why can't you handle this kind of detail? To put it bluntly, you are not smart enough, but you like to overestimate yourself. You think you are smart when you are with the big boss every day, but you don't know that when you use your brain for serious things, you are far from being smart. You are good at crooked ways. I think so too. Su Yin nodded. Zhang Wenning and Zhang Yongliang were already at the door. Big brother Yin, why are we still talking to them? These two darn things actually dared to sneak an attack on you in the middle of the night. If we let them walk out, it would be our fault. Zhang Wenning and Zhang Yongliang were already at the door. Then let's do it. Zui Yeming rolled up his sleeves as he spoke. Although Zhang Meng's resistance was strong, He was only one person after all, facing the fierce attacks of 2 supermasters and 4 first-class masters. He didn't even have the strength to resist, let alone fight back. Li Chun was weak and didn't need to be taken care of at all. Everyone's target was Zhang Meng. It was proven that no matter how strong a person's resistance was, he would be beaten into a pig's head in the face of a group of ruthless people. Su Yin stopped early and sat beside Li Chun to admire the scene with her. During the whole process, Li Chun didn't say a word. Perhaps death was a relief for her. After a long time, Wang Zhe said, "This guy is dead." Su Yin scratched his head in annoyance. "Bad luck. I can't live in this house anymore. I will check out." "Pigeon, Wang Zhe, you can handle the rest. If you don't know where to send this guy, ask Miss Li and let her lead the way. Send him back to the big boss." Chapter 633. After checking out of the room, Su Yin returned to the suite that Zhuo Meiyan had originally booked. He lay on the bed and stared at the luxurious, intricate crystal chandelier on the ceiling as he fell into deep thought. Although he had been prepared for anything to happen after meeting Bao Tianxia, he had still been caught off guard. However, this sudden turn of events still caught Su Yin off guard. He had never expected Bao Tianxia's subordinates to be so wary of him. Bao Tianxia had indeed hoped that Su Yin would cooperate with him. There was no doubt about that. Otherwise, he wouldn't have tolerated Su Yin's excessive behavior. However, Bao Tianxia's subordinates didn't seem to want him to cooperate with Su Yin. Today it had been Zhang Meng and Li Chun. Tomorrow it would be someone else. Su Yin couldn't predict. Bao Tianxia had a high status and was extremely wealthy. Su Yin simply couldn't calculate how many people and experts he had under him. Fortunately, today's incident had happened here. Lin Ge and the others could have appeared to help him at any time. If he had been alone, the outcome would have been uncertain. Su Yin's sense of crisis gave him a headache. He already had enough trouble, but God seemed to like making things difficult for him. He just had to get himself into more trouble. If he had the chance to see God, Su Yin would definitely curse him viciously. With Lin Ge handling Zhang Meng and Li Chun's matter, Su Yin felt a lot more at ease. Su Yin was satisfied that the trouble had only come to him. The people around him hadn't been affected. At the very least, the people around him could sleep more comfortably. However, he hadn't heard from Zhuo Meiyan for an entire day. Even if he wanted to calm down, he should at least go back to the hotel and rest. Just as Su Yin was thinking about this problem, Zhuo Meiyan's phone call came in. "Where are you? I thought you wouldn't show up tonight." Su Yin smiled faintly. "I'm in my room, preparing to take a comfortable bath. Do you want to join me? Why did you cancel the room on the 6th floor?" Zhuo Meiyan didn't joke around with Su Yin and asked in confusion. Su Yin shrugged. "It's a long story. Since you're back at the hotel, let's talk about it in the room." Since Zhuo Meiyan knew that the room on the 6th floor had been cancelled, it meant that she was already in the hotel. Knowing this, Su Yin felt a lot more relaxed. Su Yin hung up the phone and got up to open the door a little. 3 minutes later, Zhuo Meiyan pushed open the door and entered. "Did something happen? Why do you want to return that room? We ruined that person's plan in the Xing'an mountain range, and now that person has found me." Su Yin smiled faintly. "You didn't expect it to be so fast, right? But the world is so small. What a coincidence." Although Su Yin said it casually, Zhuo Meiyan was still extremely shocked. She stared at Su Yin with wide eyes. "Even if the entire world's Interpol was mobilized, they wouldn't be able to find you so quickly. If I remember correctly, after you left Xing'an mountain range, you stayed in Beijing for a night, then went straight to Xinjiang. On the 2nd day in Xinjiang, you came to Qingdao. You haven't stayed in one place for more than 24 hours. You found me the night I was in Beijing." Su Yin said faintly. "Too many things happened recently, so I didn't have the chance to tell you." Zhuo Meiyan was indeed shocked. Su Yin had been found by the other party on that night in Beijing? Did he know Immortal? What a joke. Su Yin pointed at the bed and gestured for Zhuo Meiyan to sit down. "The night I was in Beijing, I went to the spa with Lin Ge and the others to take a bath. After that, I was taken to the police station by the police. You should know about this, right? It was Feng Ying who arranged for someone to bail me out." I know. Feng Ying asked Wang Xinyu to bail me out. She's a newcomer that Sky Entertainment started promoting last year. Her father is a famous lawyer in Beijing and has never lost a case. Zhuo Meiyan said. Is there a problem with that? Is there a problem with Wang Xinyu? No wonder I can't find her at the film set. Su Yun shook his head. There's nothing wrong with Wang Xinyu. She was almost killed because of me. Zhuo Meiyan was even more shocked. Who did it? It's that big boss we offended. Su Yun. Wang Xinyu has nothing to do with that big boss. However, Wang Xinyu's father, Lawyer Wang, has an inexplicable relationship with Boss Bao. Lawyer Wang is their company's exclusive lawyer. Su Yun took a sip of water and paused for a moment. That night, Wang Xinyu went to pick me up. Lawyer Wang went with her. Lawyer Wang knew who I was, so he informed his boss. Everything was as simple as that, as expected. Big Boss used Lawyer Wang to give me a show of strength that night. Lawyer Wang didn't know that Big Boss would be so ruthless that he almost killed his daughter. You mean you were with Wang Xinyu that night? Zhuo Meiyan frowned. You didn't sleep with her because she was young, right? I swear to God, am I Su Yun that kind of person? Su Yun rolled his eyes. Can you listen to the main point and not think so much? Zhuo Meiyan pursed her lips and didn't say anything else. She continued to listen to Su Yun. It was such a coincidence. If the other party wanted to catch me, they would have had to wear out iron shoes. However, because those bastards from the anti-prostitution and anti-gang activities wrongly accused me, the other party didn't have to do anything. Su Yun shook his head. That night, they failed to assassinate me. I returned to Xinjiang the next day. Then how did they find you on Qingdao? Zhuo Meiyan didn't understand. What a coincidence. You were invited as soon as you arrived. Su Yun smiled bitterly. Of course, it was all thanks to Lawyer Wang. Since the big boss had arrested Wang Xinyu, Lawyer Wang would definitely tell the big boss everything he knew. It can be said that the other party knows me like the back of his hand. He knows the relationship between Sky Entertainment Corporation and me. Therefore, he concluded that I would definitely appear at Sky Entertainment Corporation's most important film and television plaza construction site. Zhuo Meiyan smiled bitterly. And then you came? Before, when no one was waiting for you at the construction site, you didn't come even once. Now that someone is preparing to make a move on you, you came. You really know how to pick the time. Isn't it because... Su Yun stopped himself from blurting out the word you. Even if he came to Qingdao mainly for Zhuo Meiyan, he couldn't say it out loud. He didn't want Zhuo Meiyan to feel pressured. Zhuo Meiyan didn't pay much attention to it. Her mind was focused on Su Yun's trouble. Then, since you've dealt with this round of trouble, won't the other party immediately arrange for a second round of trouble? This time, the trouble wasn't arranged by that Bao guy. It was his subordinate who made the decision. Su Yun. Boss Bao arranged for someone to wait for me at the construction site this morning. He invited me over as a guest, and even offered me a friendly olive branch. He hoped that I would cooperate with him. Zhuo Meiyan's face was filled with disbelief. You've already ruined such a big thing for him. He still wants to cooperate with you? Is there something wrong with his brain? Yeah. Not only did he offer me an olive branch, he even offered me 3 billion in chips. Su Yun smiled. You should understand his goal now, right? Zhuo Meiyan suddenly understood. Even though Sky Entertainment made a lot of money under her leadership, and she wasn't a woman who hadn't seen money before, 3 billion was still a terrifying number. Of course she understood the other party's intentions. If it wasn't for the greater benefits, why would he offer such a high price? He hopes that you can help him return to the ice forest in the Xing and mountain range. That's right. Su Yun nodded. The value of the land under the Packer tribe's feet is probably much higher than we expected. If he can offer me 3 billion, then he might be able to get 30 billion, or even 50 billion from that land. That's all possible. Zhuo Meiyan was shocked. I didn't expect that land to be so valuable. No wonder Team 1's Captain Liu Bei betrayed him. The temptation of money is just too great. A few billion, haha. Even the world's stock gods and oil tycoons would be tempted. Su Yun said. Not to mention Team 1's Captain Liu Bei. For someone who works so hard for a big boss, The amount of money he gets every year is definitely not small. If it wasn't for the greater benefits, why would he risk his life? Zhuo Meiyan took a deep breath. Such a high price. What about you? Are you tempted? If I was tempted, I wouldn't be sitting here. Su Yin shrugged. If I agreed to the other party's conditions, I'm afraid I would already be on a plane to the Xing and mountain range. How would I have the time to chat with you? The other party is willing to offer 3 billion, but you're not willing to help him. Zhuo Meiyan smiled faintly. You're really loyal. If your brother from another race knew about this, he would definitely be moved to tears. Su Yin shook his head. I'm not just doing this for Yuan Bo and the Pekel clan. You have to know that if the Pekel clan's land is so valuable, even if it's buried forever, it'll still be Huaxia's treasure. But once it's in the other party's hands, the country's treasures may be scattered in the hands of collectors all over the world. And those rich collectors may not even know the true value of these treasures. These treasures may represent a part of Huaxia's history, a part of human history. These treasures are truly priceless. Zhuo Meiyan smiled helplessly. You really do think about the country's interests. You're too noble. If I were you, I wouldn't be so selfless. But I'm not you. I'm the woman behind you. No matter what you do, I'll support you unconditionally. I'm very happy that you can say that, Su Yin said with a smile. Zhuo Meiyan reached out to touch Su Yin's face. Actually, I know why you came to Qingdao. Su Yin was taken aback. My mental state has finally broken through, Zhuo Meiyan said. Zhuo Meiyan said, this morning, I rented a speedboat and went to the deep sea to relax for a day. I could clearly feel the feeling of having a breakthrough in my mental state. My body is much more relaxed now. I'm no longer a first-rate expert who's stuck at the beginner's level. It feels great to break through that bottleneck. Su Yun's expression was one of shock. He hadn't expected Zhuo Meiyan to break through so quickly. Then I really have to congratulate you. Only congratulations? Zhuo Meiyan's eyes were hazy. My mental state has broken through, and there won't be any danger. Are you still willing to do that thing with me? What thing? Su Yin played dumb. Zhuo Meiyan suddenly took off her jacket and pushed Su Yin onto the bed. She straddled him. What do you think? Chapter 634. Shower first? A couple's bath. Do you want to try it? Zhuo Meiyan's eyes were hazy. No man would be able to resist this kind of blatant seduction. I'll shower after it's over. Su Yin suddenly exerted strength from his waist and flipped Zhuo Meiyan over. Since he had already broken through that layer of window paper, there was no need for him to be shy. What should have happened last night had already happened. Once, twice, and 10 times were only different in terms of quantity, but the essence was the same. If she still wanted to control her emotions, then she would be acting pretentious. Zhuo Meiyan, who was being pressed under him, cooperated and closed her eyes. She was waiting for the only man she could rely on in the world to eat her up bit by bit. Su Yin also didn't have the same madness as yesterday. His gentle foreplay caused Zhuo Meiyan to completely sink into her writhing body and uncontrollable moans. She only felt that everything in the world had become so wonderful that words couldn't describe it. It was as if all of her senses had been infinitely magnified. Every place that Su Yin had kissed her seemed to have a new life. For many years, Zhuo Meiyan had lived for this man. Today, she had finally gotten what she wanted. She had given her entire being to this man in front of her. She had no regrets in this life. I really didn't expect. You're actually such a romantic person. Zhuo Meiyan enjoyed the pleasure that Su Yin brought her. She also selflessly expressed her love and everything about herself to Su Yin. She crazily kissed every inch of Su Yin's skin, not hiding her love for Su Yin. The madness continued. Everything was so natural. When the conditions were right, success would follow naturally, making everything beautiful. With the experience, the two of them quickly found a kind of indescribable happiness in the torment of the clouds and rain. They wholeheartedly enjoyed the satisfaction that this pleasure brought them. Everything else in the world was thrown to the back of their minds. When exhaustion invaded every inch of Su Yun's skin, only then did his magnificent army roar out, charging and breaking through the enemy lines. Zhuo Meiyan, who had long lost her strength, could only allow Su Yin to attack the city. She enjoyed the pleasure of falling into the enemy's hands. Everything about her had already belonged to Su Yin last night. No matter how Su Yin treated her, she would gladly accept and enjoy it. After an unknown amount of time, the two of them slept in each other's arms. What happened to the promised couple's bath? After waking up early in the morning, Su Yin stretched lazily. He heard the sound of water in the bathroom. Zhuo Meiyan, who was beside him, was no longer there. Su Yin walked straight to the bathroom. Zhuo Meiyan had just finished bathing and was startled by Su Yin's sudden intrusion. Even though what should have happened had already happened, Zhuo Meiyan still shyly used a bath towel to cover her body. She asked with a face full of embarrassment, "What are you doing? You can't do this so early in the morning. I can't take it." "Even if you can't take it, it should be me." Su Yin laughed bitterly. "I'm just here to take a bath. I definitely don't have any other thoughts." Annoying. Zhuo Meiyan rarely had this kind of girlish shyness. She hurriedly left the bathroom. When Su Yin was bathing, she left a note and left the room. When Su Yin came out of the bath and drank a large cup of cold water, he saw the note left by Zhuo Meiyan. "There is an important matter in Jibei waiting for me to deal with. Now Wang Zhe has taken me to the highway back to Jibei. I have told Zui Yeming everything about Qin Island. He will do his best to cooperate with Tangjiu. If the matter in Jibei is settled smoothly, I hope you can invite me to Shenzhen to celebrate the New Year with you during the year-end holidays." Su Yin smiled slightly. No matter what, Zhuo Meiyan would not trouble him. She would do her best to deal with things that she could deal with. After so many years, Su Yin really felt guilty. Zhuo Meiyan had done too many things for him. So much so that he did not even know how many things she had done for him. It was getting late. Su Yin got dressed and prepared to go out to ask Lin Ge how things went last night. However, what Su Yin did not expect was that Lin Ge was not in the room. His phone was turned off. Last night, he only cared about enjoying the pleasure of 9 heavens, and did not think about these things at all. Su Yin had a bad feeling. He immediately knocked on Zui Yeming and the Zhang brothers' room to ask. They said that they did not hear Lin Ge come back before they went to bed last night. Su Yin's heart was in his throat. He had a strong sense of foreboding. If he had known this would happen, he would not have let Lin Ge deal with the matter last night. Su Yin should have known that Li Chun was full of tricks. Letting her show Lin Ge the way back was a completely wrong decision. Damn it! Su Yin's fist slammed heavily against the wall. His vexation made his mood very bad. Last night, he was so focused on making love that he did not think to ask about his brother's situation. If something had happened to Lin Ge last night, Su Yin would definitely regret it. Seeing Su Yin's current mood, Zui Yeming was a little worried. He comforted him. "Brother-in-law, don't think about it. Pigeon is not a child. He can take care of himself. Maybe he went to pick up a girl on the way home last night. Or maybe he went on a date with Momo. Or maybe he met a female confidant. Maybe he's still in the land of love. I know what kind of person he is better than you do. After he does something, he will definitely let me know first. He will definitely not disappear for no reason. Su Yin. I will go look for him. You guys take care of yourselves. Brother Yin, we will go with you, Zhang Wanning said. Su Yin raised his hand. You just need to take care of Tang Jiu and the 2 children. Some things are harder to solve with more people. The Zhang brothers did not say anything else. They just nodded. Zui Yeming, don't tell your sister about the trouble on Guqin Island. I hope she can focus on the matters in northern Ji. If it wasn't for something urgent, she wouldn't have left in such a hurry. Su Yin, you just need to do what she told you before she left. Don't interfere with anything else. Zui Yeming nodded helplessly. But brother-in-law, I am a little worried about you going to look for Pigeon alone. You weren't even born when I could do things on my own. Su Yin, don't worry about me. Take care of yourself. Don't make me worry. That is the biggest help you can give me. Zui Yeming shrugged. Then don't worry. I will cooperate with President Tang. Don't worry about Guogua and Bufifan. I will take care of them. I will use my head to guarantee their safety. You don't have to be distracted. Zui Yeming's expression was very serious. Then I will leave it to you. Su Yun patted Zui Yeming's arm and turned to leave. Zhang Yongliang took out a car key and handed it to Su Yun. Su Yun did not stand on ceremony. He took the key and hurried downstairs. Guogua and Bufifan were too tired from playing yesterday. They were still in bed and had no idea what had happened. The world of children was always naive. They would not think about so many troublesome things. Su Yun would let them live a carefree life and solve all their problems for them. The voices in the corridor woke Tang Jiu up. When she opened the door, she saw Su Yun's back. She asked in confusion, "What's wrong? Did something happen?" "President Tang." Zhang Wenning and Zhang Yongliang saw Tang Jiu open the door and greeted her. "Good morning." Tang Jiu was very polite to them. Zui Yeming smiled. "President Tang, it's nothing. Brother Yin just went to deal with some personal matters." "Haha, there's something else I need to tell you. Something urgent happened at Sky Entertainment Group, so my sister took Wang Zhe back early in the morning. It might take a few days, so if you need anything in the future, just look for me. I'll do my best to cooperate with you." Tang Jiu nodded. "Thank you. Actually, Sky Entertainment Group gave me the project. I should be in charge of it. I am sorry to trouble you." "Don't be sorry. We are all doing this for the same purpose." Zui Yeming's words were very mature. It seemed that this little bird that left his sister's side could fly very high. Perhaps this was a good opportunity for him to train alone. Guogua and Bufifan finally woke up. They opened their doors and looked at the people chatting in the corridor. Guogua said sleepily, "Are you going to have a morning meeting? Oh, why don't I see my daddy?" "Does the leader have to come out at the end to conclude?" "Guogua, your daddy went out to deal with some personal matters. He will be back soon." Zui Yeming said, "You can play with your uncle today." "I don't want to play with you. I don't know you that well." Guogua stuck out her tongue. "Where is my Uncle Pigeon?" Zui Yeming was rebuked by this little girl, but he couldn't get angry. He didn't know whether to laugh or cry. "Your Uncle Pigeon went out with your daddy to deal with some personal matters. So, you have to bear with it and play with your uncle today." Guogua still shook her head. "Uncle Wang Zhe should be here, right? What the hell? Am I not even as important as Wang Zhe in your heart?" Zui Yeming was really hurt by Guogua's words. "Anyway, I'm your god-uncle, am I not? I know this relationship is a bit far-fetched, but logically speaking, this is how it should be. I am your god-uncle, but you don't like me?" Guogua stuck out her tongue. "You are not my mother's biological brother. Then my sister is your godmother, right?" Zui Yeming couldn't find any advantage in arguing with this little girl. Bufifan walked over. His comforting words to Guogua were very effective. "It's okay. I will play with you. Where do you want to go? I will take you there. Even if I don't know where it is, I can call my brothers to pick us up. Don't even think about it. I will never let you go out alone." Zui Yeming didn't expect these two little guys to be so troublesome. Bufifan and Guogua said in unison, "It's none of your business." Tang Jiu saw that Zui Yeming couldn't handle these two little guys at all, so he hurriedly stood up. "This is your father's order. You will follow me today. Guogua, if you still recognize me as your sister, then listen to me." Guogua held Tang Jiu's hand coquettishly. "Of course I recognize you. No matter what, you will always be my sister. Hee, I won't go anywhere today. I will go to the construction site with Sister Xiaojiu to learn work experience. That will be fine." Tang Jiu didn't know whether to laugh or cry. No one could do anything to her. Perhaps only someone with Su Yun's aura could really control such a monstrous little thing. Bufifan was more sensible. Seeing that Guogua was no longer stubborn, he became obedient. "I am hungry. Let's go eat?" Guogua's stomach growled. Bufifan pulled Guogua back. "Go back to your room and wash up first. You still have your eye boogers." Chapter 635. Su Yun had a deep impression of the roads he had taken, so he quickly found Bao Tianxia's clubhouse. Bao Tianxia seemed to have known that Su Yun was coming, since the guards at the entrance did not stop him, and allowed Su Yun to drive in. After the car stopped, someone personally came to open the door for Su Yun. "Mr. Su, the big boss is waiting for you in the guest room. This way, please." Su Yan did not speak any nonsense. Since Bao Tianxia was waiting for him so early, he was certain that Lin Ge was in Bao Tianxia's hands. Bao Tianxia truly had some skills. After all, Lin Ge was an expert trained by the demon god, and he had a high reputation in the assassin world. Yet he actually fell into Bao Tianxia's hands. Although Bao Tianxia didn't have any strength, he must have hidden dragons and crouching tigers under him. Thus, the person who opened the door for Su Yan wasn't someone simple. If Bao Tianxia could predict that Su Yan would come here, then he was very clear about Su Yan's purpose. He definitely wasn't here to discuss any cooperation with him, but to ask for someone. At this moment, Su Yan's heart was filled with rage. Before he even got out of the car, he had already sent a kick out. The other party was clearly prepared. He blocked Su Yan's kick with both arms and blocked it. His fist turned into a palm and directly grabbed Su Yan's ankle. He suddenly exerted force to drag Su Yan out of the car. However, Su Yan wasn't someone to be trifled with. The moment his left ankle was grabbed, he held onto the steering wheel with one hand. The other party used a lot of strength and pulled him horizontally, causing the 2-ton car to tilt. Su Yan quickly reacted. He pulled back his left leg and sent a kick at the other party's face with his right leg. The other party had no choice but to release his grip on his left ankle. The other party took 2 steps back to give Su Yan some space to land on the ground and cupped his fists in admiration. No wonder the big boss admires you. I'm ashamed of my inferiority. Mr. Su, the big boss is still waiting for you. You're a great person who doesn't mind a small person like me. Don't waste your time with me. Su Yan's eyes were filled with murderous intent. At this moment, the humble man standing in front of him was definitely not someone to be trifled with. This flexible man was definitely more terrifying than Zhang Meng, a martial artist. Since I'm already here, there's no need to talk about wasting time. Su Yan smiled. Since Big Boss arranged for you to welcome me, he naturally knew what I would do. Big Boss is really clever. He gave me an invisible show of strength. Mr. Su, you worry too much, the other party said indifferently, but there was not a single part of his body that was not prepared for defense. Su Yan really didn't want to waste any more time. Even if he defeated one of them, there would definitely be a second or third person standing up. Su Yan did not believe that Lin Ge would fall into the hands of a single person. With Lin Ji's skills, if Bao Tianxia wanted to control him, only an expert would be able to do it. Please. The other party's driver saw through Su Yan's thoughts. He took a step back, lowered his defense, and bowed in an inviting gesture. Su Yan slammed the door and walked into the club alone. It was Su Yan's second time here, so he was very familiar with the place. He strode toward the reception room where he met Bao Tianxia yesterday. As soon as he pushed the door open, he saw Li Chun, who was kneeling on one knee and brewing tea. In an instant, Su Yan's heart was filled with hostility. If it wasn't for his carelessness, Lin Ge would not be under the control of this damned place. Ha 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 ha, Brother Su, I didn't expect that we would meet so soon. Bao Tianxia laughed. Man proposes, God disposes. I thought that the next time Brother Su came to me would be after the new year. I didn't expect that you would come today. How about it? Have you considered it? Su Yan chuckled. Big boss, you know why I'm here. Don't play dumb. Bao Tianxia was stunned. Brother Su, if you're not here to talk about cooperation, why would you come to me for something else? Ha ha ha, if we can't even reach a basic consensus, what else can we talk about? Big boss, since I'm here, let's be frank. There's no need to beat around the bush and waste time. Su Yan glanced at Li Chun. Since Miss Li is standing in front of you, what else don't you know? Bao Tianxia walked to the sofa and sat down. He picked up a cup of tea that Li Chun had just poured. Come, Brother Su. Try my tea guanyin first. This tea is directly supplied to Beijing's Foreign Affairs Center. Ordinary people can't drink it. It's specially for foreign guests. You have a lot of face here, right? Big boss, my patience is limited. Su Yan didn't sit down to taste the tea with Bao Tianxia. This seemed to make Bao Tianxia feel very embarrassed. Bao Tianxia looked at Su Yan and didn't speak for a long time. Li Chun smiled and said lightly, Boss Su, Big Boss sincerely wants to invite you to taste the tea. He knows that you love tea, so he took out his favorite tea to entertain you. If it was in the past, Suyin might really be in the mood to taste the top-grade tea guanyin. But now, he really wasn't in the mood at all. His brother was still missing. Asking Suyin to sit down and drink tea? How could he be in the mood to taste the bitterness and fragrance of the tea? Miss Lee, if you knew what kind of person I hate the most in my life, you wouldn't do such a sinister thing. Suyin, my people came with you last night. Now you're here safe and sound, but I can't see my people. If this is how you treat your guests, then I think I have nothing to talk about with Big Boss. Suyin came prepared to shed all pretense of cordiality. He didn't care what the other party did to him, but he didn't want to hurt the people around him. Otherwise, Suyin could do anything. Brother Su, I think there must be some misunderstanding between us. Big Boss said. In fact, the person who should be angry today is me, not you. I can calmly invite you to a cup of tea. Why are you not willing to do me the honor? After saying that, Big Boss clapped his hands. The guy who opened the door for Suyin just now opened the door, and directly threw Zhang Meng's body in. Suyin glanced at it, and then looked at Bao Tianxia again. His mood eased a little. At least the other party only threw one body in, not two. Finally, Suyin could conclude that Lin Gu was not killed. He sat on the sofa opposite Bao Tianxia and took a sip of tea. Big Boss, I drank the tea and gave you face. Shouldn't you return my people to me? Brother Su, you also grew up in Huaxia, right? Huaxia is a country that pays attention to the legal system. You should know this, right? Big Boss said in surprise. You have to pay with your life for killing someone. Brother Su should know this basic principle. Suyin knew that Bao Tianxia wanted to negotiate with him first. Boss Bao, if you really know the law and know what it means to pay with your life for killing someone, then shouldn't you calculate how many times you have to pay with your life? How many times do you have to be shot? Bao Tianxia actually thought about it seriously. Then he grinned at Suyin. I'm afraid that even if you use the world's largest gun to shoot me, it still won't be enough to pay with my life. Brother Su, your question is too good. I'm afraid I'll have to find a math expert to calculate it. Big Boss, I don't want to waste my breath on you. Suyin. If it weren't for your people trying to assassinate me in the middle of the night, he wouldn't have died in front of you. You know very well what your subordinates are like. You also know very well what your people have done. Don't deceive yourself. Let my people go, and we can discuss anything. Brother Su, I offered you 3 billion yuan in chips, but you refused to discuss it with me. Now you're only willing to discuss it with me if I let one person go? How do you expect me to believe you? Bao Tianxia smiled and shook his head. It's not that I don't want to believe you, but I really don't think that a brother's life is worth more than 3 billion yuan. Suyin said coldly, we're not the same kind of people, so you don't know what I'm thinking. Big Boss, you just want me to cooperate with you, but have you ever thought that your people don't want me to cooperate with you? After saying that, Suyin glanced at Li Chun, who was standing at the side. Bao Tianxia suddenly understood and nodded. Yes. Brother Su, I still have one more thing to explain to you. Li Chun brought Zhang Meng to find you last night, because I told him to. Yesterday, I already knew that Zhang Meng didn't want you to come, so I just wanted to test him. I didn't expect that this brat would really dare to kill you. Since he really dared to kill you, I'll give him to you for you to deal with. It's a small token of my appreciation. Ha, Brother Suyin, you should know that I don't like stupid people. Suyin broke out in a cold sweat. It turned out that there was a bigger conspiracy and calculation behind all this. Li Chun had been acting all along, even until the last moment. They already knew that Suyun's people were not the only ones in the hotel. Letting Zhang Meng come to find trouble with him was to let Zhang Meng die. I won't allow any of my people to go against my will, Bao Tianxia said. I wanted you to come, but Zhang Meng didn't. He went against my will, so he deserved to die. Ha. It seems that little Li is getting more and more skillful at following my instructions. Yesterday, when I realized that you knew that I didn't want to give you the cigarettes, I arranged a good show last night. Brother Su, how was it? Wasn't it wonderful? Wonderful, it was really wonderful. Suyin felt like there was a big stone in his heart. This old fox was more difficult to deal with than he thought. It seems that I underestimated Miss Li from the beginning. She's not just a flower vase with IQ. If we really fight, I'm afraid that even I won't be her opponent. Li Chun smiled. Boss Su, you think too highly of me. If I had the ability, I wouldn't have to go through so much trouble to invite you. Su Yin sneered and stared at Li Chun. Thousand Faces Guanyin. Does your teacher know that you're so modest? Li Chun's expression suddenly changed. She was really surprised that Su Yin could say her name. Even Bao Tianxia didn't expect that Su Yin would know so much. That's right, Li Chun was the ruthless character known as Thousand Faces Guanyin in the underground world. Chapter 636. Boss Su is indeed not a simple person. Thousand-faced Guanyin Li Chun didn't deny her identity. She had a strange smile on her face. I admit defeat. Until now, I still haven't figured out what kind of immortal Boss Su is. But now, I've revealed my identity. Hee, I admit defeat. How would they know Su Yun's identity? He wasn't from the underground world. Although Flame Dragon was famous, no one knew what he looked like. This was because those who were personally dealt with by Su Yun were either dead or imprisoned in Marty Franz Island's serious criminals prison, unable to escape for eternity. Clap, clap, clap. Bao Tianxia clapped his hands and said with emotion, I admire you. Many people who thought they were very powerful didn't know the true identity of Thousand-Faced Guanyin until they died in her hands. But younger brother Su was able to see through her identity on the second day we met. Now, I don't just admire younger brother Su. I admire him. I really admire him. Su Yin knew who Bao Tianxia meant by, didn't know the true identity of Thousand-Faced Guanyin until they died in her hands. He glanced at Zhang Ming's body and said indifferently, if Boss Su compared me to that kind of person, he wouldn't have offered me such a high price. Ha ha ha, brother Su, what can I say about you? Bao Tianxia was still emotional. I really don't know who you are to make someone trained by the evil god follow you and work for you so willingly. Also, you have an inextricable relationship with the late Zhang Taisui. I'm really surprised. Su Yun's eyes flashed with coldness. Boss, since you already know that the person you caught is a disciple trained by the evil god, why don't you hurry up and let her go? Do you really want to make things go out of control? When that time comes, no one will get any benefits, including you. Maybe you'll become a beggar with nothing. Bao Tianxia smiled calmly. Yes, the evil god isn't someone to be trifled with. Suddenly, Bao Tianxia's expression changed. He said viciously, but am I, Bao Tianxia, someone to be trifled with? Ha 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 ha. Su Yin had a deep understanding of Bao Tianxia over the past 2 days. This was his most profound understanding of Bao Tianxia. A man who could be said to be powerless in front of an expert actually dared to say such words. In Bao Tianxia's eyes, a legendary figure who could shock countless underground experts just by mentioning the name of his disciple, Xiefei's, was also someone who could be provoked. If Xiefei's can really come, I would like to exchange blows with this person who is known as the world's #1 assassin. The guy who stood at the door and greeted Su Yun smiled slightly, as if he didn't put Xiefei's, the world's #1 assassin, in his eyes. Li Chun glanced at that guy and said indifferently, don't be so arrogant. Last night, just one of Xiefei's junior brothers made us suffer. I really don't know where your confidence comes from. Flying Wolf, if you weren't so arrogant, I think the big boss would value you more. Flying Heavenly Wolf Xiangdong was also a famous super expert in the underground world. He had always come and gone without a trace. Su Yun never thought that this guy would be working under Bao Tianxia. Bao Tianxia, oh Bao Tianxia, how many shocking things do you have that people don't know about? I heard a lot of people say that Flying Wolf Xiangdong is a lone wolf who likes to be alone. Su Yun smiled. I didn't think that a lone wolf would be tamed one day. It seems that a lot of the rumors in the underground world can't be trusted. There are fewer and fewer people with integrity in the underground world. Xiangdong smiled disdainfully. Integrity? What is integrity? In this society, only those with money have the right to speak. Integrity is nothing. Xiangdong, how can you say that? My brother Su is a person with integrity. I admire him. I admire his integrity too much. Bao Tianxia stood up and spoke up for Su Yin. I also admire what the big boss admires. Xiang Dong smiled. It's just that I admire you more, big boss. You can turn someone with integrity into someone without integrity. Ha ha ha, that's the most amazing thing. What do you think, big boss? Bao Tianxia waved his hand. Don't say that I'm so amazing. I'm not the kind of person who likes to force people to do things they don't like. Big boss, I've said what I need to say. I just want to know where my brother is. Su Yun said indifferently, if you really respect me and hope that I'll consider working with you, then you have to respect me and let me know that my people are fine. Bao Tianxia said with certainty, of course your people are fine. I can guarantee that, but how can you guarantee that you'll really consider working with me? Brother Su, it's not that I don't believe you, but I really don't see any sincerity in you to cooperate with me. How do you want me to guarantee it? Su Yin asked. Bao Tianxia touched his chin and shook his head. I really can't think of anything. Xiao Li Xiangdong, help me think. That's easy. Xiangdong sneered. Since Mr. Su is so loyal, why don't you leave 2 of your fingers as collateral? Mr. Su, don't worry. I'll definitely store your fingers at a low temperature. As long as you give the big boss an answer within 48 hours, I'll invite the best doctor to reconnect your fingers. You'll still be a healthy person by then. Ruthless. Ruthless. Su Yin clenched his fists so hard that they made cracking sounds. Xiangdong pretended to be surprised. If your fingers are reconnected, I'm afraid that Mr. Su won't be able to clench them so hard in the future, right? You should really enjoy the feeling of having healthy fingers now. Xiangdong. Brother Su is my VIP. Get out of here. How can I treat Brother Su like this? Watch your mouth. Don't be rude just because you did something for me yesterday, Bao Tianxia said sternly. Do you think that Mr. Su is the same as those ordinary bastards? Bastard. Although he was scolded by the big boss, Xiangdong wasn't angry at all. He still stood at the side as if nothing had happened. He just didn't say anything. Big boss, I have an idea. I don't know if you'll agree to it. Li Chun suddenly said. Su Yin sneered in his heart. He would rather cut off 2 of Xiangdong's fingers than let this woman come up with an idea. Ordinary people wouldn't be able to guess what this sinister woman was thinking. Say it. Bao Tianxia had a special regard for Li Chun. The thousand-faced Guanyin was definitely not just for show. Li Chun calmly said, let Mr. Su save them himself. If they're really brothers, this isn't difficult at all. If Mr. Su is just saying it, then there's no need to save them. We don't need to wait for the evil god to arrange for CFAIs to save them. We can just make them disappear. Bao Tianxia laughed strangely. Li Chun was indeed a smart person he admired. Little Li, you're really making things difficult for Brother Su. Xiangdong laughed dryly. No wonder people say that a woman's heart is the most poisonous. Thousand-faced Guanyin, aren't you a little too cruel? Su Yin didn't think much of this, but after Bao Tianxia and Xiangdong said it, he felt that this matter wasn't that simple. Where exactly was Lin Ge locked up? How should he save him? This was the biggest problem Su Yin was facing now. Then you should at least tell me where my brother is locked up, right? Su Yin said coldly. Bao Tianxia was stunned. Brother Su Yin, don't be in a hurry to make a decision. I'll tell you where he is, but before that, I want to show you something else. Come with me. Big boss, maybe I shouldn't reject your kindness, but I'm really not in the mood now. Su Yin. Let me know where my brother is first. I'll take you there now. Don't be in a hurry. Xiangdong opened the door for everyone. This time Bao Tianxia didn't say anything more to Su Yin. Instead he walked straight out. Li Chun walked to the door and made an inviting gesture. Boss Su, let's go. Su Yin knew that he was in a passive situation, so he could only go along with Bao Tianxia's wishes. Although he didn't know what Bao Tianxia wanted to show him, it should be something related to Lin Ge. There was no harm in learning more about it. Soon, Bao Tianxia led Su Yin to the natural lake in his feng shui location. Li Chun and Xiangdong followed closely behind. Bao Tianxia looked at the beautiful lake in front of him and said, Brother Su, what do you think of my place? Isn't it very good? Actually, feng shui is a very interesting thing. Brother Su Yin, are you interested in discussing it with me? What exactly is missing from my place? Big boss, Don't tell me you want me to enjoy the final scenery? Su Yin smiled. I know that your place has good feng shui, but now isn't the time to discuss it. Bao Tianxia nodded. Yes, that's right. I didn't bring Brother Su here to discuss feng shui. Xiangdong, go get a horse. Xiangdong quickly went to the back of the club. Su Yin hadn't seen the stable at the back before. When he saw the horse, Su Yin was surprised. Bao Tianxia had a lot of hobbies. People who raised horses in this era were the same as in ancient times. They had to be rich to be able to raise them. Moreover, horses nowadays were probably worth more than ordinary cars. Xiangdong brought the horse in front of Bao Tianxia. Bao Tianxia gently stroked the horse's back and said, My good horse, I love you very much. But today, I need you to perform for me, Su Yin. Go. After saying that, Bao Tianxia slapped the horse's back. The horse immediately bolted and dashed into the lake. It wasn't rare for horses to swim. Therefore, Su Yin didn't think that Bao Tianxia was just showing him the scene of his horse swimming. Big boss, if you have something to say, just say it. Su Yin's patience was wearing thin bit by bit. Shoo. Bao Tianxia put a finger to his lips to stop Su Yin from making a sound. Bao Tianxia's expression was very serious. Su Yin couldn't understand what Bao Tianxia wanted him to see. Just as Su Yin was puzzled, a black shadow suddenly emerged from the lake. In the blink of an eye, the horse that had been swimming happily just a moment ago disappeared from their sight. Only bloodstains were left on the lake. Hiss. Su Yin sucked in a breath of cold air. What the hell was that? He didn't even get a clear look before it disappeared completely. It swallowed the entire horse in one gulp. Damn it. Could it be a whale? But this was a freshwater lake. It couldn't possibly be a sea creature. Chapter 637. Beautiful. It was wonderful. A cruel smile hung on Xiangdong's lips. He didn't feel sorry for the dead horse at all. Instead, he praised the monster that swallowed the horse alive. I wonder if Big Boss Treasure would have an easier time swallowing a human than swallowing a horse. Bao Tianxia seemed to be very satisfied with the performance of the thing in the lake. He was still sad for the loss of his beloved horse a second ago, but he immediately felt proud and excited for the mysterious water monster he had raised. Brother Su, my pet is not bad, right? Ha ha ha. Even the Middle Eastern oil tycoons who raise lions and tigers as pets don't have a pet as precious as mine. Su Yin wasn't as relaxed as them. He had no idea what Bao Tianxia was raising, but Su Yin had a basic understanding of what Bao Tianxia and the others were thinking. Big boss, if you want to let my brother go because I want to fight with your monster, then I have no choice but to accompany you. Brother Su, there's no need to be so polite between us. What's mine is yours. Bao Tianxia laughed. Your brother is also my brother. I also hope that nothing will happen to my brother, but I didn't know that he was so important to you. So I locked him in the middle of the lake and prepared to let him be my big baby's lunch. Su Yun's expression changed instantly. He stared at the center of the natural lake with his eyes wide open. Sure enough, there was a steel cage suspended in midair. He could vaguely see a figure inside, but because they were 1,000 meters away, Su Yin couldn't see clearly what was happening to Lin Gu inside the cage. Su Yin now understood why Xiangdong said that Li Chun was the most vicious woman in the world. The decision that Li Chun made Su Yin make was too despicable. On one hand, it was his little brother Lin Gu, who had been following him since he was young. On the other hand, it was the huge water monster hidden in the lake. Boss Su, if you want to save your brother, none of us will stop you, Li Chun said. Li Chun said, it's a pity that the only speedboat on this lake will soon be stained with human blood. It will attract the big boss's treasure more easily. You can only think of a way yourself. As soon as Li Chun finished speaking, Xiangdong walked to the speedboat docked by the lake. He suddenly took out a dagger from his waist and cut his arm, letting his blood flow all over the boat. The monsters in the lake seemed to be particularly sensitive to the smell of human blood. Even though they were on the shore to the east, the center of the lake was still stirred up by the things under the water. Even the owner of the monster in the water, Bao Tianxia, seemed to be afraid that the thing in the lake would rush out. Stop. It's done. Do you really want to lure it up here? Bao Tianxia said angrily. Xiangdong quickly took off a piece of cloth and used it to stop the bleeding. Su Yun was convinced. This group of bastards was really vicious. They could really do anything. Asking him to swim over was obviously asking him to die like the horse. Boss Su, there is a timer installed on the top of the cage. After 2 hours, the bottom of the cage will automatically open and the food in the cage will fall into the lake, Li Chun said. Mr. Lin should be awake by now, but if he wants to break free from the professional binding technique I personally used on him, I'm afraid it won't be that easy. When the time comes, he will only have the fate of becoming food. So you have 2 hours to save him. Su Yun took a deep breath. These bastards really wanted to push him to his death. It was not realistic to fight them now. With Su Yun's strength, he was not confident that he could withstand the combined attack of the thousand-faced Guanyin and the flying wolf. Last night, Li Chun did not show any signs of weakness. She was not the weak woman on the surface. If she really made a move, she might be even more ruthless than flying sky wolf Xiangdong. Bao Tianxia laughed and said, Brother Su, if you can consider my conditions now and cooperate with me happily, I will naturally think of other ways to save our brothers. If you don't agree, then we are no longer in a cooperative relationship. I have no need to help you. Thank you for your kindness, boss. Su Yun smiled faintly. Although this is a little exciting, I'm a person who likes excitement. Moreover, I know very well what it means to take advantage of others. Even if you help me unconditionally, I can only decline. Brother Su, can you not be so stubborn? This is making me admire you more and more. Bao Tianxia said straightforwardly. Since you said so, then I will not be polite. As long as you have the ability to save your brothers, you can use any method. As long as you save them, I will let you go unconditionally. Even if you have offended me so much, I will not pursue it. I also promise you that I will not force you to cooperate with me. Su Yun shrugged. Then I really have to thank the 18 generations of ancestors of the boss. It seems that you are certain that I will not be able to save them. Maybe I will just die in this lake. At that time, you must remember to burn me a few billion yuan of paper money, so that I can have a better life over there. Also, don't forget that we got to know each other. Bao Tianxia shook his head. Brother Su, if you can't be used by me, then you are worthless to me. If you are willing to cooperate with me, I can give you as much money as you want. But if you die, you can't cooperate with me anymore. Even if I burn you a penny, it will just be a waste of my time. Straightforward. I like it. Su Yun smiled and said to Li Chun and Xiangdong, Do you see that? This is your boss. If you are valuable, then he will give you a mouthful of rice. But if you are not, then you are worthless. Don't you feel that it is scary to work with such a person? Bao Tianxia smiled and said nothing in the face of Su Yun's provocation. It's a pity that we will always be valuable to the boss. Xiangdong said. Besides, the boss's approach is not wrong. Everyone's time is precious. Why waste it on someone who has no value or meaning to you? If it were me, I would also not burn you paper money. Li Chun had a different opinion. Maybe I will burn some for you. If you dare to go into the water, then it means that you are the bravest man I have ever seen. I will admire you very much. I should be able to burn some paper money for someone I admire. Su Yun smiled bitterly. Don't say it as if I am going to die. You may know what is in the water, but I don't. Maybe I am born with a resistance to that thing. Or maybe I am born with no fragrance, so I don't want to eat it. Then I can only wish you good luck. Li Chun's mouth hung a shallow smile. Xiangdong's expression was that of a funeral procession. When Bao Tianxia saw that Su Yun was really going to the lake, he was a little nervous. If the thing in the water really ate Su Yun, what would he do? Would he really have to cut down the entire forest to find the treasure in the Xing'an mountain range? He was not the damn Baldi Chong. What he wanted to do was not cutting down trees. Even if he could get a logging permit through his connections, he did not know how many years it would take to get it done. Bao Tianxia could not wait that long. His overseas guests could not wait that long either. Just when Bao Tianxia was about to regret telling Su Yun to stop, a splash sounded. Su Yun had already entered the water. Su Yun's determination shocked Bao Tianxia. If it was him, Even if it was for his family, he wouldn't do what Su Yin did. He absolutely wouldn't risk his own body for anyone. This was also the reason why Bao Tianxia hadn't encountered an accident even after so many tombs fell. He valued his own life more than anyone else. As long as he did not die, the death of others had nothing to do with him. Su Yun's entry into the water did not only shock Bao Tianxia, but also Li Chun and Xiang Dong. Xiang Dong even had a hint of respect for Su Yin. In his eyes, a person who would do such a thing for a brother was definitely someone worth befriending. Unfortunately, he was not someone worth befriending, so it was impossible for him to befriend such a person. Although Li Chun felt that it was a pity, she was also vaguely happy. At least there was one less opponent in the world that she would respect. Since Li Chun had the title of Thousand-Faced Guanyin, she would never be afraid of any powerful expert. She was afraid of these kind of experts with brains. She was very clear on how difficult it was to deal with these kind of people. Su Yin was a good example. The moment Su Yin entered the water, he felt a bone-piercing chill. He did not expect the water to be so cold. If it wasn't for his strong physique, he would have already sunk to the bottom of the lake with cramps. The intruder was quickly discovered by the mysterious underwater creature. Su Yin could also clearly feel the undercurrent under the water. His first reaction was to quickly surface. Even though Su Yun's reaction was fast, he still saw the black shadow that followed closely behind him. Su Yun's sharp judgment of danger allowed him to leap out of the water at the first moment. The huge creature's bloody mouth brushed past Su Yun's body as he leaped up. The thing that was more than 10 meters long completely floated out of the water, causing Su Yin, who had leaped into the air, to be stunned. If Su Yin knew that there was such a terrifying creature in the water, he would not dare to believe that he would not have the courage to enter the water. This was a super terrifying and huge crocodile. How could there be such a creature in the world? The largest crocodile in the world was the bay crocodile, which was famous during the Battle of Lonely Island at the end of World War II. It was also the man-eating crocodile, which was at the top of the wetland food chain. It was the largest of the 23 species of crocodile, and was also the largest reptile in the world. However, even the largest bay crocodile in the world was only 6 to 7 meters long. That was already quite rare. It was impossible to have one that was more than 10 meters long. Moreover, the bay crocodile was also known as the naked neck crocodile because it was the only crocodile that did not have large scales on its neck and back. However, this crocodile's back obviously had huge scales. Moreover, every detail did not match. The bay crocodile's snout was narrow and long, its front beak was low, and the back of the snout was carved with obvious carvings. There was a bone ridge in front of the eyes that moved towards the end of the snout. There was a single nostril that opened at the end of the snout. There was no septum in the nasal passage, and there were no horizontal rims at the back of the snout. The eyes were big, oval-shaped and protruding, and the ears were behind the eyes, narrow like slits. The moment Su Yin jumped, he tried his best to observe every inch of the monster's body. It was different from the bay crocodile he had guessed. What the hell was this thing? It couldn't be the emperor crocodile that lived in Africa during the early Cretaceous, right? Perhaps in this world, there were only huge crocodiles that lived in that era that were more than 12 meters long. However, that was a creature that lived in the early Cretaceous, the Alb stage. It could be said that it was a dinosaur. What the hell? The thing in the lake was an ancient mythical beast from the dinosaur era? Nonsense. Chapter 638. To be honest, it was the first time anyone had seen this thing jump out of the lake, including Bao Tianxia. He had brought it to the lake when it was less than 8 meters long. More than 10 years had passed, and he did not expect it to grow so much. Bao Tianxia's pride was unparalleled. When he got this crocodile, he liked to show off that he owned the world's biggest crocodile. Now he could show off that he owned the world's most incredible creature. Because this crocodile was a living crocodile emperor. He actually owned a creature that only lived in the early Alb stage of the Cretaceous period. This crocodile could be called a dinosaur. This was something that ordinary people couldn't imagine. Splash. Su Yun and the legendary emperor crocodile fell into the water at the same time. The huge splash made Bao Tianxia's sleeves wet, but Bao Tianxia had no intention of leaving. He hoped that Su Yin could lure his amazing pet out of the water again. "Boss, you should stay back. If that thing gets angry, I'm afraid it will hurt you," Li Chun said bluntly. "After all, this thing goes crazy for a long time every time it tastes human blood. I'm worried that Su Yin will anger it. If it really gets angry..." The whole lake has been soaked in the blood of the black donkey and the black dog, which it hates the most. It will never step onto the shore. It has been like this for more than 10 years. Do you think it will suddenly change? Bao Tianxia was full of confidence. "Don't worry. I know my baby better than anyone else. I didn't expect that out of all the things I found in Wild King's tomb, this living fossil was the most valuable." Xiang Dong swallowed a mouthful of saliva. He couldn't believe that such a living thing could be found underground. Moreover, Bao Tianxia wasn't afraid of it at all. He just let his subordinates catch it. At that time, Bao Tianxia lost 3 first-rate fighters and 8 second-rate fighters to catch this 8-meter-long monster. After obtaining this monster, Bao Tianxia had always treated it as his most precious pet. Every day he would have people throw 2 cows and a sheep into the lake. As time passed, this damn thing's appetite also increased. Now Bao Tianxia had people throw 4 cows and a few sheep into the lake every day as snacks. Since last month, Bao Tianxia had been driving a horse every 2 weeks to give his amazing pet a change of taste. However, the one thing that hadn't changed was that this monster couldn't stand the smell of black donkey and black dog blood. Therefore, Bao Tianxia killed more than 10,000 black donkeys and countless black dogs to prevent his pet from running away or accidentally hurting people. He collected a lot of blood and soaked the ground around the lake. He would do this every year because he was afraid that the smell of blood would be too faint to trap the monster. Bang! The emperor crocodile's tail swung out of the water and slapped down heavily. Bao Tianxia and the others saw clearly that Su Yin was actually hugging the monster's tail tightly. No matter how many times it swung its tail, Su Yin didn't have any intention of letting go. The monster turned its head and tail very quickly, but no matter how hard it tried, it couldn't reach the tail with its head. When Su Yin first jumped into the air, he made the judgment that the monster's tail was the safest place. However, what Su Yin didn't expect was that this darn thing's tail was like its reverse scale. Ever since Su Yin hugged its tail, this darn thing was completely enraged. It was so angry that it rammed around at the bottom of the lake, throwing Su Yin out of the water and smashing her down. It was hard to get off a tiger. No, it should be hard to get off a crocodile. Su Yin couldn't let go. Once he let go, Su Yin was sure that this monster would tear him into pieces in the water. Su Yin, who had no way to retreat, could only use his fingers to grab the scales on the crocodile's tail and quickly think of a countermeasure. However, this monster was too big and too strong. Su Yin couldn't think of any way to deal with this monster. He wasn't Sun Wukong, and he didn't know the 72 transformations. He could only let this monster hit him again and again. The imperial crocodile swam rapidly at the bottom of the lake. Its tail slammed against the wall of the lake. Every time it slammed against the wall, Su Yin would feel dizzy. Su Yin could only get closer and hold on to its scales. "Boss, I'm afraid that Su Yin is really in trouble this time." Li Chun looked at Su Yin, who was thrown out of the water by the emperor crocodile's tail again and again. He said, "If he dies, don't we have any other way to deal with the Xing Anling snow forest?" Bao Tianxia also knew that Su Yin was doomed. He sneered. "Jumping is his choice. If he really dies, I can only find a way to get the logging permit for the snow forest. At most, I will spend 3 or even 5 years. Sooner or later, the thing underground will still be mine." Boom. The furious emperor crocodile's tail seemed to be hurt by Su Yin. Its whole body rose into the air again, drawing a beautiful arc in the lake. The people watching by the shore would never know how tight Su Yin's grip was. He couldn't wait to tear the scales off the damn crocodile's tail. Su Yin's mind went blank. This might be the monster's weakness. Why didn't he give it a try? Su Yin grabbed the crocodile's tail with his left hand, and his right hand suddenly exerted force and tore off a scale from the monster's tail. In an instant, the lake was dyed red with blood. The huge pain made the monster's body growl horribly. It seemed to have gone crazy, and began to flip and hit the water crazily. It even rose into the air crazily. Su Yin took advantage of the time when the monster rose into the air again. and threw the huge scale in his hand to the shore. Bang! When the huge scale fell in front of Bao Tianxia, he was completely dumbfounded. He had spent tens of millions to raise his precious crocodile every year, but Su Yun had actually removed a scale from it while it was still alive. Damn it! How could he do this? This was an emperor crocodile that could shock the whole world. A priceless living fossil. But in front of a person who wanted to survive, no matter how precious something was, it was worthless. Su Yun did not feel that this damn thing was worth more than his own life. Seeing that this damn thing was in extreme pain because of the removal of its scale, Su Yun did not hesitate to pull off another scale from the crocodile tail. When the second scale was thrown to the shore, Bao Tianxia was about to collapse. Xiangdong looked at the huge scale on the shore in disbelief. He couldn't help but exclaim, "Did Su Yun really have the ability to kill this horrible monster? This guy was really unbelievable." When facing such a monster, most people would only think of running for their lives, so the more they ran, the more they would be eaten. However, Su Yun could find the monster's weakness at such a critical moment, and he really did it. He didn't care if the monster would be more violent when it was angry. This calmness, this courage, and this decisiveness weren't things that a person could easily have, but they were all reflected in Su Yun. It was too crazy. Li Chun seemed to have predicted the result. She looked back at the trembling Bao Tianxia and said, "Big boss, maybe you don't need to spend money to apply for a logging license." Bao Tianxia's body trembled as he took a deep breath. He closed his eyes and tried to calm himself down. He had repeatedly convinced himself that if he could obtain a rare genius like Su Yun, so what if he lost the one and only emperor crocodile in the world? Even though Bao Tianxia convinced himself again and again, the pain in his heart was still faintly accompanied by a knife. He comforted himself again and again that even if this emperor crocodile was dead, it was still priceless. If it was alive, it might be priceless, and it was just something for him to show off. Bao Tianxia, who was already as rich as a country, didn't care about money. Deep in his heart, he wanted to show off more. However, his interest in Su Yun was much higher than this emperor crocodile. If he could get someone like Su Yun to be his assistant, wouldn't it be even more bragging? Ever since Su Yun found this darn thing's weakness, he started to pull off its scales one by one. This huge monster that could cause storms with one turn of the hand was gradually subdued. The areas where the scales were removed revealed bright red flesh, and the intense pain made it gradually lose its strength. There were more and more scales on the shore. Bao Tianxia closed his eyes and didn't want to look anymore. He knew that his precious pet was doomed, but he didn't have the chance to do anything. It was impossible for him to save it. Finally, when Su Yun pulled off the last scale on this darn thing, it stopped struggling and slowly floated to the surface of the water. Su Yun stood on this dying monster and threw the last scale to Bao Tianxia. "Big boss, I'm sorry," Su Yun said. "I can't believe there's such a thing in the water. It's not your pet, right? Is it a wild animal?" Li Chun snorted. "Boss Su, don't pretend to be innocent. You made the boss's most precious pet into this half-dead state. The boss is already giving you face by not arguing with you." Su Yun didn't care. "You didn't say there was this darn thing in the water. If I knew it was the boss's pet, maybe I wouldn't have done it." Bao Tianxia suppressed the anger in his heart and looked at Su Yun with a fake smile. "Brother Su, you're ruthless. You're the bravest person I've ever met. Don't worry, I'll keep my promise. I'll also keep my promise. As long as you can save your brother, you can take him away." Su Yun stood on the half-dead emperor crocodile and smiled. "Big boss is indeed a man of his word. I'll consider cooperating with you. However, this is a big deal. Can you give me more time to think about it?" Chapter 639. Lin Ge thought that he was dead for sure. He couldn't believe that Su Yun could kill the monster in the lake. He had been practicing ancient martial arts by the evil god's side for so many years, and Xie Fei's, whom he had always admired, had once killed a tiger shark in the sea. This time, Su Yun had actually killed a giant crocodile that far exceeded people's imagination of a crocodile. It was too crazy. Bao Tianxia suppressed his anger and sent Su Yin and Lin go off with a smile. When the car was far away from his sight, his expression began to turn gloomy. How could he not hate them in his heart? However, his hatred was far suppressed by his desire to recruit Su Yin. As long as Su Yin was willing to help him, he would do anything. Big boss, are you really going to let them go just like that? Li Chun asked unwillingly. She couldn't accept Su Yin's outrageous actions. Su Yin was completely out of her imagination. Li Chun was very clear that if she were to face Su Yin, she might not be his opponent in terms of wisdom or martial arts. She would feel very uneasy if such a person were to live alone. Bao Tianxia glanced at Li Chun. I know very well that Su Yin said that he would consider cooperating with me, but he was just being perfunctory. He wanted to stall for time because he couldn't see through me. He didn't know how many hidden experts I have in this place, so he wouldn't easily make a move against me. His goal was only to leave safely. He didn't really want to cooperate with me. Since Big Boss can see through it, why did you let him go? Li Chun didn't understand why they had to waste time on someone who wasn't sincere in helping them. One had to know that time was precious. If Su Yin was just playing with them and wouldn't sincerely help them in the end, wouldn't that be too much of a waste of effort? I know you want him to die, Bao Tianxia said indifferently, because he is the first person in so many years that you feel like you can't control him. Even if he really cooperates with me, you will still see him as an enemy. You don't have to deny this, and I won't blame you. But don't you think it's interesting to have such an opponent in your life? Li Chuanjin didn't know how to answer. She didn't find it interesting at all. She only felt threatened. Besides threats, there was still threats. Su Yin was someone who could even kill the monsters in the lake. Who knew if he would suddenly kill her one day? I think it's pretty interesting, Xiang Dong said coldly. Big boss, I finally understand why you are so interested in Su Yin. He is indeed a rare talent. I will fully support you in taking him down, because I really want to know how it feels to be friends with such a person. Bao Tianxia smiled but didn't say anything. Xiang Dong, do you think you're worthy of being friends with other people? Li Chun said directly. You're only friends with money. Don't tell me you don't even know what kind of person you are. Haha, becoming brothers with Su Yin? Do you think he's that kind of stupid? Xiang Dong didn't think so. Anything in the world can change. Big Boss clearly feels that Su Yin won't cooperate with him, but he's still fighting for it, isn't he? As long as Big Boss wants to do something, he can definitely do it. I just need to learn from Big Boss what's called the spirit of not giving up. Why can't I be brothers with Su Yin? Nonsense, whimsical. Li Chuanjin's mouth was vicious enough. Are you talking about me or Big Boss? Xiang Dong smiled and set a trap for Li Chuanjin. Bao Tianxia couldn't help but look at Li Chuanjin. This gaze made Li Chuanjin very uncomfortable. After all, Li Chuanjin's words did have a hint of innuendo. Li Chuanjin's eyes turned cold as he glared at Xiang Dong. Of course I'm talking about you. I didn't expect that after not seeing you for a few days, you didn't improve in other aspects, but you've become skilled at sowing discord. But it's fine if you use this little trick in front of others, but don't make trouble in front of Big Boss. That's enough. Both of you stop arguing. Think of a way for me to make Su Yin surrender to me. Bao Tianxia said. Xiang Dong shrugged his shoulders. Big Boss, it's actually very simple. This kid is so kind. You just need to capture everyone around him and force him to go to the ice forest of Xing and Mountain with you. Why do you need to go through so much trouble? That kid is not a good person. Whether he appreciates our kindness or not, we don't even know if he will plot against us in the end. If it's that simple, Big Boss doesn't need us to waste our brains. Li Chuanjin said. Big Boss wants Su Yin as a helper, not only because he can help him in the ice forest of Xing and Mountain. Now that Liu Bei was dead, the entire Viper exploration team was about to collapse. The Big Boss needed someone who could control the situation to be his team captain. However, this person is Su Yin. Big Boss, am I right? Bao Tianxia nodded. You're right. Su Yin is indeed very suitable to be the captain of Team 1. But that's what I thought yesterday. Today, I've changed my mind. If I let him be the leader of Team 1, it'll be a waste of his talent. As long as he surrenders, His brothers will naturally surrenders as well. Let's not talk about the others, just Lin Gu, who almost escaped from the two of you by himself last night, is qualified enough to be my leader. Big boss, let me say something you don't like to hear. Letting an assassin raised by the evil god be the captain of Team 1. Aren't you afraid of raising a tiger? Li Chuanjin said. If I have Su Yin, then I won't be afraid. Bao Tianxia said seriously. Now you should know why I can tolerate Su Yin so much, right? Being able to kill so many of my captains in Xing and Mountain shows that the people around him are not to be trifled with. If I have him, it means that my entire Viper exploration team will be upgraded to a higher level. And these people are all loyal to Su Yun. As long as I can make Su Yun loyal to me, all the problems will be solved. Isn't that right? If these words were said by someone else, Li Chuanjin would definitely use the word naive to describe them. But these words were said by Bao Tianxia, so Li Chuanjin didn't dare to say anything because Bao Tianxia was one of the few people in the world that Li Chuanjin admired. Back then, she submitted to him because she lost to Bao Tianxia in a battle of wits. Therefore, Li Chuanjin believed that the naive words just now coming from Bao Tianxia's mouth were not naive at all. Maybe something really would happen. Miracles were always performed by Bao Tianxia again and again, so Li Chuanjin could believe anything Bao Tianxia said. As long as Bao Tianxia said he could do it, in Li Chuanjin's world, it could definitely be done. On the way back, Lin Gu recounted what happened last night with lingering fear. At that time, he didn't take Li Chuanjin seriously at all, because Li Chuanjin was just a woman without any combat ability in his eyes. But when they arrived at their destination, Li Chuanjin suddenly pressed the dagger in her hand against Lin Ji's neck. Everything happened so suddenly that Lin Gu couldn't react in time. He could only let Li Chuanjin take him out of the car. And to Bao Tianxia's side, Bao Tianxia used money to attack him. As long as Lin Gu agreed to help him persuade Su Yun, Bao Tianxia would give him an objective amount of money. Lin Gu naturally wouldn't be moved by money, but in order to get out of the current situation, he pretended to agree. Lin Gu began to counterattack when the other party let down his guard. Although Li Chuanjin was also a super expert, she quickly fell into a disadvantage against Lin Gu, who had rich combat experience. Lin Gu originally wanted to take advantage of the situation to make a big fuss, but he was quickly forced back by Xiang Dong, who joined the battle. At that time, Lin Gu realized that Bao Tianxia didn't only have Li Chuanjin as a super expert by his side. Facing the siege of two super experts, Lin Gu naturally fell into a disadvantage. Lin Gu had no choice but to think of a way to escape. Unfortunately, the other party's pursuit was too fast. Although Lin Gu had a chance, he couldn't grasp it in the end and was subdued by the two. Before Lin Gu could think of another way, he was injected with an anesthetic. Lin Gu instantly fainted and couldn't remember anything. When he woke up, he was already tied up in a cage in the middle of the lake. After Lin Gu woke up, he saw a huge figure swimming in the lake several times. He didn't even dare to breathe loudly. After all, he didn't have the ability to resist at all. If he disturbed the monster in the lake, he would be courting death. Su Yun knew what happened after that. Lin Gu saw Su Yun jump into the lake, and the huge black figure quickly swam past him. Fortunately, Su Yun did such a crazy thing and didn't lose his life because of him. Otherwise, Lin Gu really didn't know how to face the rest of his life. He had already thought it through. If Su Yun died in the mouth of the monster, even if he was swallowed alive, he would slit the monster's throat in the instant he was swallowed to take revenge for Su Yun. After Lin Gu told what happened last night, Su Yun drove back to the hotel. It had been 3 days since they came to Qingdao. Now that Zhuo Meiyan had left and Tang Jiu was busy solving the last problem before the new year, Su Yun realized that if they were still here, they would definitely disturb Tang Jiu. So he asked Lin Gu to pack up. After packing up, the two went to the airport and bought tickets for the evening. After driving to the construction site, they had lunch with the others. Guagua, Dad hasn't been able to play with you these days. I know you must want me to play with you. Where do you want to go in the afternoon? Dad will go with you. Su Yun asked while eating. Guagua knew what was going on. Dad, are we going to leave? Yes, I bought the tickets for the evening. Lin Ji's biggest strength was that he didn't know how to lie. He was straightforward and straightforward. Guogua looked at Bufifin and smiled. Brother Bu, now you know why I didn't want to go to the underwater world, right? Bufifin nodded. I understand. Su Yun was a little touched. It turned out that Guogua had been waiting for him to go to the underwater world with him. Even when Guogua was playing in the ocean park, and was so close to the underwater world, she didn't want to go because she knew that no matter how busy Su Yun was, he would always find time to accompany her when no one would disturb him. Then Guogua naturally left the most important part of the underwater world to the last moment to visit. If Su Yun didn't accompany her to the underwater world on this trip to Qingdao, it would be a great regret for Guogua. The child's thoughts were very simple, so Su Yun would definitely fulfill Guogua's last wish. Chapter 640. The plane landed in Xinjiang at 3 o'clock in the morning. Guogua was fast asleep, and Bufifin was also sleepy. Wan Qingshuang was waiting for them at the airport. Originally, Su Yun had called Chang to pick them up tonight, but Wan Qingshuang insisted on coming personally. After seeing Su Yun, Chang drove back to the villa to rest, and Wan Qingshuang took them back to Xinkai Hotel. After returning to the hotel, Wan Qingshuang helped Guogua settle down and let Bufifin sleep in his room. Only then did she go to Su Yun's room. Su Yun and Lin Gu were discussing something. When they saw Wan Qingshuang, Lin Gu sensibly got up and left. Brother, I'm really sleepy. I won't chat with you anymore. I see that Sister Shuang is quite energetic. You guys chat. Hee. Do you want me to open a bottle of champagne for you? If you're sleepy, then get lost. Su Yun laughed and scolded him. Remember to wake up early tomorrow and finish what I just told you. If you can't, don't come back to sleep. Just sleep at the train station or under the bridge. I promise to complete the mission. Lin Gu smiled bitterly and left. To be honest, this mission was not easy to complete. For so many years, unless Gu Zueran wanted to see you, he would not let you find him. If he did not want to see you, you would not be able to find him even if you wore out steel shoes. The title of clairvoyant was not for nothing. How could Gu Zueran not know that someone was looking for him? After Lin Gu left, Wan Qingshuang poured a cup of hot water for Su Yun and handed it to him. Look at your dry lips. Remember to drink more water in the future. The weather is dry now, and there is a lot of haze. If you don't drink more water, it will be easy to get heaty. You're already an adult. You don't need me to remind you like I told Guogua, right? Yes, I will follow your instructions. Su Yun took the cup from Wan Qingshuang's hand and drank the whole cup of hot water obediently. Wan Qingshuang was his gentle harbor. No matter how tired he was at this moment, after seeing Wan Qingshuang, it would be swept away. This feeling was very comfortable. What did you ask Lin Gu to do? Why didn't you let him come back to sleep if he couldn't finish it? What happened? Wan Qingshuang asked curiously. Su Yun smiled. No, I was just joking with him. I see him as my own brother. How can I bear to let him sleep at the station and under the bridge? I just asked him to help me find a friend. It might not be easy to find him. He might not come back in the next few days. Do you need my help? Wan Qingshuang said. It would be great if Wana had time recently. She can help us look for her. It's much easier for the police to find someone. Su Yun shook his head. If the police were to look for him, it would be even harder to find him. The only person who can find him now is Lin Gu. My friend has a very strange personality. If he doesn't want you to find him, you will never be able to find him. Hee, is he an immortal? How can he know that others are looking for him? Wan Qingshuang said with a smile. If you say immortal, he may not dare to call himself an immortal, but at least he's a half-immortal. Su Yun shrugged. I'm not joking. Wan Qingshuang opened her mouth in surprise. Now, she wouldn't be surprised if Su Yun had friends like this. How was it? Did you have fun at Qingdao this time? I saw Guogua smiling when she was sleeping. It seemed that she was very happy. She was very happy. I was also very relaxed. It's rare to be so relaxed. Oh right, where's Cho Yun? Su Yun suddenly thought. If she knows that Guogua is back, Cho Yun should be. She's not in Xinjiang now. Wan Qingshuang smiled. Su Yin became nervous. Last time, she sneaked to Swang by herself and almost got into big trouble. This time, Su Yin was naturally worried. Where did she go? Don't worry. She went back to Hudong. Ruan Qingxuang said. Wana really doesn't have time recently. It's almost New Year. She was worried that Uncle Qin would offend people because of his principle of never accepting gifts. Now that Chang and the others are in Xinjiang, she wanted me to go back and take a look for her. I originally planned to go, but the hotel has changed a lot recently. I can't leave, so Cho Yun took the initiative to go back and see Uncle Qin in my place. If there's any trouble, she can help Uncle Qin deal with it so that Wan can work at ease. Su Yun was relieved. At least he knew that Cho Yun was not looking for trouble. He just didn't expect Cho Yun to participate in these romantic matters. Su Yun had to admit that when Cho Yun integrated into their big family, she did start to change. She became much cuter. Okay, if there's nothing else, I'll go back and sleep first. Ruan Qingxuang said. You rest well too. Su Yun paused. He didn't say good night directly. Instead, he said with anticipation, but I can't sleep. Ruan Qingxuang was silent for about half a minute. She smiled and said, then I'll stay with you. For some reason, the two suddenly didn't seem to know what to say. They sat on the edge of the bed and looked at each other with a silly smile. In the end, someone suggested that they were tired of sitting and wanted to lie down. The two fell asleep in each other's arms. The night was silent until the next morning. After returning to Xinjiang, Guogua obviously hadn't eliminated the excitement and impulse brought to her by the underwater world. When the sky just showed a little bit of light, she got up and wanted to find Ruan Qingxuang and Cho Yun to share her happiness. Guogua knew that if she got up after 9 o'clock, Ruan Qingxuang would be busy with work. She couldn't disturb her. However, the excited Guogua didn't find Ruan Qingxuang or Cho Yun in the room. Guogua's sly eyes turned a few times and locked on Su Yun's door. She was 120% sure that Ruan Qingxuang must be in Su Yun's room. Although Guogua was very excited and couldn't wait to share the happiness of the trip to Qingdao, she unexpectedly endured it. Guogua sensibly felt that perhaps Ruan Qingxuang needed Su Yun's embrace more than the happiness she wanted to share. It was definitely a great joy for Guogua that the two of them could finally get married. About half an hour later, Lin Ge got up. He opened the door and saw Guogua guarding the door of Su Yun's room. He said in surprise, Guogua, what are you doing there? Guogua said in a low voice, my dad and mom haven't woken up yet. Maybe it's because they were too tired last night. Uncle Pigeon, keep your voice down. Don't disturb them. Lin Ge didn't know whether to laugh or cry. What was in this little girl's head? Could it be that he couldn't say such shocking words that he wouldn't stop until he was shocked to death? Phew, it was too late. Heavens, this little evildoer knows too much, right? Lin Ge definitely changed his view of all 6- and 7-year-old children because of Guogua. Then what are you going to do? Stand guard at the door for them? Lin Ge asked. Of course. Uncle Chang and the rest must know that my dad is back. They might be on their way here. I can't let them wake them up so early. Guogua said seriously. They need to be alone. Sigh, you single people don't know what it means to be alone. Lin Ge was speechless. Fine, I don't know, but you do. Guogua really predicted things. Chang and the rest came to Xingkai Hotel early in the morning to greet Su Yun. After all, it was only the second day they arrived in Xinjiang and Su Yun left. Guogua, this little door god, made them realize that there was something going on inside. They all waited obediently. Lin Ge shrugged his shoulders. Then you guys go ahead. I still have something to do. If I don't do it well, my brother won't let me come back to sleep. Guogua, when your dad wakes up, remember to tell him that I have already gone to find the person he asked me to find. Tell him not to worry. Guogua nodded and whispered, Uncle Pigeon, I wish you a safe journey and a successful completion of the mission. An hour after Lin Ge left the hotel, Guogua had been waiting at Su Yun's door. Chang and the rest didn't dare to disobey this little girl's wishes. They all stood in the corridor and waited. 5 minutes later, Bufifan also woke up. His room was next to Su Yun's. He was shocked when he stepped out of the door. So many people were standing there. What was going on? Shoo. Bufifin immediately understood Guogua's words. He tiptoed to Guogua's side and whispered, "Are you going to give old Su and Auntie Shuang a surprise or a scare?" Guogua suddenly realized. Why didn't I realize it? Thinking of how awkward it would be if so many people saw Su Yin and RuanQingshuang coming out, Guogua hurriedly asked Chang and the rest to leave quickly. But it was already too late. RuanQingshuang opened the door and prepared to leave quietly. But when she opened the door, she was stunned by the scene in the corridor. Everyone was standing at Su Yun's door, and it seemed like they were waiting for her to come out. Ruan Qingshuang's face was instantly covered with a crimson red, all the way to her ears. She wanted to explain something, but she didn't know how to start. Guogua was the first to turn her head and pretended that nothing had happened. It's nothing, I didn't see anything." With Guogua as an example, the others followed Guogua's example. They all turned their heads and whistled at the ceiling. "I didn't see anything, but sand got into my eyes today. Ouch, who can blow for me?" Even so, Ruan Qingshuang quickly closed the door and retreated. Although she and Su Yin didn't do anything last night, she still felt hot all over, as if someone had discovered her secret. Su Yin woke up when he heard the door close. He looked confused and asked, "What's wrong? What happened?" Ruan Qingshuang shook her head helplessly and pointed outside the door. Su Yin strode to the door and opened it, but he didn't see anything. The entire corridor was empty. Su Yin was even more confused. "What's wrong? There's nothing outside." "Ah." Ruan Qingshuang walked to the door in surprise. There was indeed no one in the corridor. Was it just her imagination? Phew. Fortunately, it was her imagination. Otherwise, she wouldn't know what to do if everyone misunderstood. At this time, Bufifin's room next door was full of people. Guogua was speaking seriously. "We have to pretend that nothing happened this morning. We can't let my mother notice anything wrong. She's a shy person. If she finds out that we saw them having an affair, she'll definitely feel embarrassed and won't know how to face you in the future. You have to pretend that you didn't see anything." Chang responded affirmatively. "We didn't see anything in the first place. Brothers, don't you agree?" Chapter 641. After Su Yin returned to Xinjiang, he could clearly feel the huge changes in the hotel. It was as if the hotel had turned over a new leaf. The foul social atmosphere was almost completely gone. No middle-level leaders dared to abuse their power for personal gain. Everything was done by the book. No one dared to mess around. However, there were also side effects. The profits of Xinkai Hotel had obviously declined over the past few days. However, these were all things that Su Yin had expected, so he didn't think much of it. However, Chang and the others were a little embarrassed. It was as if they had done more harm than good after coming here. However, after Su Yin explained everything clearly, they felt relieved. Facing the current situation, the hotel must have a solution. This worried Ruan Qingshuang. Su Yin had handed Xinkai Hotel over to her to manage. She couldn't let the hotel become a low-profit business after a series of reforms, right? That would be letting down Su Yin's expectations. Su Yin could naturally see the worry on Ruan Qingshuang's face. This problem was too easy to solve. Su Yin asked Ruan Qingshuang to inform all the middle-level leaders to have a meeting in the conference room. Then he whispered to Bufifin. Bufifin nodded seriously and made an okay gesture. Since all the middle-level leaders were now being monitored by Su Yin's people, they all came to the conference room as soon as they received the notice. No one wanted to offend the boss at this juncture. Anyway, they didn't want to carry out the reforms. The decline in the hotel's economic benefits had nothing to do with them. Obviously, Su Yin didn't think so. He just felt that the decline in the hotel's economic benefits was due to the inaction of these middle-level leaders. In the past, they only knew how to rely on unscrupulous means to increase the hotel's economic benefits. But now, without those unscrupulous means, they didn't know how to operate the hotel. Su Yin obviously wouldn't accept this reason. The hotel's economic benefits depended on the efforts of these people. If they couldn't even do this, and couldn't even change the hotel's economic benefits, then why did he spend so much money on them every year? Was it to be a freeloader? It was because of this that the current scene had occurred. Once all the middle-level leaders were seated, Bufifin kicked open the door of the meeting room and started scolding them. Get the F***ck out of here if you don't want to work anymore. Get lost. Go play somewhere else. Do you really think this hotel is your retirement home? Huh. Do you think that the hotel's performance has nothing to do with you? Even if the hotel closes down next year, you can still get the salary you deserve. Buffifin's shout scared everyone present. They didn't expect Bufifin to have such a temper despite his young age. Bufifin didn't hold back and continued to curse. I'll King say it once. If you want to stay in Xingkai Hotel, show me some sincerity. If you just want to eat and wait for death, then King scram. If the hotel is the same without you, then you have no value at all. Do you know what value is? If you can create a profit of 1 million for the hotel, then I will give you a salary of 300,000 to 500,000. If you can't even create a profit of 100 yuan, then why should I give you a salary? Everyone lowered their heads and endured Bufifin's scolding. After all, this hotel was left to him by Yi Fala. No one dared to say no to him. Big brother Bu, you're giving them too much face. Guogua had a sharp tongue. If it were me, I wouldn't bother to talk nonsense with them. I'd just ask the person in charge of the Human Resources Department to tell them to get lost. Then, I'd ask the person in charge of the Human Resources Department to get lost. It's easy to save time and effort. Out of sight, out of mind. If it were any other day, these guys would definitely have the confidence to ask, let's see how your hotel operates when we're not here. But now, each of them had arranged for someone to take over their work. Therefore, none of them dared to say such a thing. If anyone dared to say such a thing, they would definitely pack up and leave immediately. There was no need to be vague. Su Yun secretly praised her in his heart. As expected of his daughter, adding oil to the fire would definitely make these bastards who had nothing to do feel like they were treading on thin ice. Bufifin sincerely admired his little sister. Her aura was definitely stronger than his. You're not young anymore. Your age is almost the same as the age of the Qing dynasty. How can you not understand the logic of a little girl? For the sake of Aunt Yi, I'll give you a chance. Go and think of a plan right now. If the hotel's economic benefits are still the same in 3 days, then I'm sorry. I believe everyone knows that what you can do is not something that the people around you can't do. If you really can't do it well, then I can only let the people around you do it. As for you, I won't be so ruthless. After this month's salary is settled, take it to the new year. After the new year, don't come back. Even if you come back, there won't be a place for you to stay. Fifin, aren't you going a little overboard? 3 days. Call me Director Bu. Bufifin stopped them with one sentence. 3 days is already a long time. If you're still not satisfied, then you can only pay the bill and leave today. I don't have that much patience. It's almost the new year. I hope that Xingkai Hotel's New Year's Eve dinner will be the most anticipated dish in Xinjiang. I just didn't remind you about it. Do you have any other marketing strategies? Use your brains. I'm a man of my word. After 3 days, if the hotel's profit is still the same, take the money and leave immediately. Leave no one alive. Seeing that some people still dared to whisper, Bufifin glared at them and said angrily, Don't King talk nonsense. If you don't believe me, then get out now. Do you really think I don't have anyone else to use? After the last sentence, everyone fell silent. No one dared to doubt Bufifin's determination. It seemed that although this kid was young, he was very mature. He knew that he had to be decisive and decisive. They only had one chance. Only those who seized the chance would survive. Everyone leave. Anyway, you can't think of any good ideas here. After Bufifin gave the order, everyone stood up and left under the lead of their artists. It was the end of the year. Not only did they not have a year-end bonus, but they also had to deal with the troublesome matter of being fired. No one could accept it in such a short time. After everyone left, Su Yun patted Bufifin's shoulder. Not bad. Good. As a boss in the future, you have to have such an imposing manner. You have to get rid of those who don't listen to you in one go. As a boss, You can't just know that you have to solve problems. Since you've spent money to hire so many people, you have to make them do things, not solve problems for them. If they can't solve the problem, then of course they have to leave. The boss has to scold them, give them a warning, and sound the alarm. If I'm not wrong, Yi Fala must have scolded them a lot to make them so obedient. Bu Fifan smiled. For the first time, he felt that being a boss was quite satisfying. Even if he threw a tantrum, none of his subordinates dared to say a word. This effect was too awesome. Little brother Bu has the potential to be a boss. Guogua also praised Bu Fifan. However, Bu Fifan didn't want to be a boss. Even if he had the potential, he still hoped that he could go to the hunter school that Su Yun mentioned and learn real strength. That was the life he wanted. He didn't want to squat in the office with a big belly and drive a Mercedes-Benz or a BMW every day when he went out. He liked to be ruthlessly trained. If a man didn't go through a lot of training, could he still be called a man? If he was a real man, he wouldn't be afraid of being trained. Only when he was trained could he be called a real man. Bu Fifan thought as he glanced at Su Yun. He was sure that Su Yun was also trained like this since he was young. That was why he had such a special charm today. What are you thinking about? Su Yun saw through Bu Fifan, who was spacing out. I'm warning you again. Don't think about those nonsensical things. Yi Fala told me to keep an eye on you. If you cause any trouble that I can't answer to, I won't let you go. Bu Fifan quickly nodded. I'm not thinking about anything. I'm really not thinking about anything. Old Su, don't worry. I won't cause you any trouble. I'll do whatever you say. Didn't I perform well today? But the more you say that, the more uneasy I feel. I've always felt that you've been a little strange recently. Tell me the truth. Have you been thinking about anything messy in your head? Su Yun asked directly. I'm telling you, don't believe the nonsense I said the other day. There's no such thing as a hunter school in this world. You haven't seen it. How do you know there's no such thing? Bu Fifan's answer made Su Yun realize that his guess was right. Bu Fifan was starting to be interested in the hunter school. Su Yun glared at him. It's because I haven't seen it that I dare to say that there's no such thing. Don't think about it anymore. I'm not joking with you. You better understand it in your heart. I understand. Bu Fifan nodded. Although he looked sincere, Su Yun felt that he was just brushing him off. Ruan Qingshuang didn't understand the world of men. She just felt that Bu Fifan's words were a little too much. After all, many of them were veterans of Xingkai Hotel. How could he just point at them and tell them to get lost? Even if they weren't good people and didn't contribute anything, they still worked hard. Before she could say anything, Chang pushed the door open and came in. Brother Yun's sister Shuang, Officer Qin is here. Qin Wan'er hadn't been seen for a few days. Her sudden appearance at the hotel surprised Ruan Qingshuang. Where is she? She's downstairs. Dan Jiahao just called to tell me. Officer Qin said she was passing by and was about to leave. She wants you to go down, Chang said. Sister Shuang, Officer Qin seems to have something to say to you. Ruan Qingshuang immediately put down the things in her hands and hurried downstairs. Su Yun and Guogua followed closely behind. Bu Fifan didn't have anything to do, so he followed them unhurriedly. He wanted to meet Qin Wan'er, whom they had talked about many times. Although he had never met her, Bu Fifan believed that their relationship must be special. You're tuning in to the Earbook Haven YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.